Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 53 of Punching Up, Last Stand Media's weekly Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, Brad Ellis, and joining me, as always, are my lovely co-hosts. We're going to start with Mrs. Micah Moriarty today. Micah, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I have to say, I had like the most convenient cold over the weekend that I have ever had. Friday, I woke up with a sore throat. I was like, oh, not good. Friday evening, extremely tired, like went to bed early. Saturday felt like horrible. But then Sunday I wake up and I'm already feeling better. And Monday I felt like 100% better. I just have a very slight like tickle in my throat that pops up periodically. But I was like, that was like the best 48-hour cold that I've ever experienced. I like 10 out of 10 would get that virus again. That was excellent. It was just enough to be inconvenient. I was like, oh no, I'm sick. I took my temperature one time. You know, like you did your job cold, but you didn't like ruin my week. So thank you.
Yeah, I had that like a month and a half ago, like the same thing. I was like, oh no, I'm getting sick. I had emergency immediately, taking that vitamin C, and it went away in like a day or two. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank you. Because I got sick, I think in December for like multiple weeks. Yeah. And I was like, not again, please. Not again.
Oh, but, yeah. I got sick.
Yeah, you got sick too, yeah.
Yeah, for multiple weeks. That was awful.
Yeah, it sucked. But also, yes, you heard him. Mr. Gene Park, also here. Gene, how are you?
Good. I cannot stress enough how much Xenoblade Chronicles X has taken over my life.
I know, dude. I see you talking about it all the time.
It is the only thing I'm doing, honestly. I have logged over 100 hours into it now.
Wow.
Awesome.
And it is as a recovering drug addict or former drug addict, this is worse than drugs.
Yeah, you're addicted.
Yeah, it's Final Fantasy 14 again. Yeah, I mean, like remember
all
I said
over again.
It's a single player Final Fantasy 14. When I played FF14, it was worse than drugs. I was like, this like I can't stop playing or thinking about this game. I need to actually stop. But at least it was online, so like there's like a nice pressure because I have to like work with other people or like plan with other people, and that's why it's so hard to like play Monster Hunter sometimes.
Yeah.
But Xenoblade X is like, no, you don't need anybody else. You just
you,
man.
Yeah.
You
just put that needle in your arm. You're good.
Yeah, you're good. You got water, you got food. That's it. You know, you just go poop and eat, and that's all you need, man.
Get in your mech, man. You're good to go.
Brother, you're good. Stay here. Just keep grinding, you know? So yeah, I mean we'll talk about it more later, as much as I can, obviously.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it. That's awesome, dude.
I can't, it's crazy. We'll talk more about it later.
Well, yeah, and I just want to say quickly, I had mentioned to Colin, I'm so glad they gave you such early access.
Yeah.
Because Colin was like, wait a minute, when's that game out? And I said, I had the same question because when Gene said he was playing it, and I was like, that's not out till like March 20th, I thought, and I was like, that's excellent that they actually gave you enough time to play this and really get into the meat of it. Because, I mean, how many times do you have a game that's 100 hours? They're like, you got 2 weeks, bitch. Write about it.
Many times.
It happens constantly. I really was like, did I have the release date wrong? And this is out next week. I'm pleasantly surprised that they gave you so much time, Gene.
It's so much time. Yeah, I've never played. I've never played a game as much as I have during a review period as I have this time. But because I don't think I've ever gotten this much time ever. I think the longest was Last of Us Part 2. And that was like a solid 3 weeks.
Wow.
And yeah, that game was super long. But you know, you can beat in like a good 30-40 hours.
Yeah.
And after that, it's just like, you know, and then you can like, you know, let it settle or whatever. And then this game is just like, it's just drugs. It's just like, I'm just like always high all the time. You know, that scene in Breaking Bad when what's his face did heroin and just started floating off the bed. That's me all the time. That's all me all the time with Xenoblade X right now. But yeah, it's crazy how much time they gave us. I feel like I'm the only person playing this game too.
Yeah, well, it's not out yet, so no one else can play it.
Well, I don't think any reviewers are playing this as much as I am too.
Okay.
Either. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
sure.
Like, I tweeted out, I was like, "Is anyone playing this?" And it's like, "No, it's crickets." I'm like, "Okay."
They're
Yeah.
using the window differently. See, they got the code early, but they're like, well, I normally only have 5 days to work with, so I don't have to rush.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the
maybe.
thing is that like sites like RPG Site and Nintendo Live did some really good coverage, so shout out to them. But this game is so complicated that it would be perfect for guides. So like I would hope that someone at IGN is also playing this as much as I am, and
I'm sure they are.
is able to pump out guides, because like I think I could probably write a guide now at this point for the game too, you know? Except that I just don't do that. I don't know. I can't do what Colin does. I can't get into the guide mode and just like break down the game like that. I just like finding out what a game does, and I'm like, oh, cool, and then I just like just instinctively do it. You know, I don't have I don't put out recipes and I don't make guides. So,
dude, we need the thumbnail. I don't think we could do this, but we need a thumbnail of Gene with like a needle in his arm and it's shooting up Xenoblade Chronicles X or something. That's what we need.
Yeah,
for the thumbnail.
Just another week of Xenoblade thumbnail too. Yeah. Well, there isn't much else going on right now, so
maybe when it comes out, we'll save something like that for the thumbnail.
For sure. Yeah. Once I just blow my load all over, like the whole experience, basically.
All right. Hey, everybody. We're a Nintendo podcast, by the way. Please check us out on patreon.com/laststandmedia if you'd like to support us and get early access to all of our shows, including Defining Duke, our Xbox podcast, Summon Sign, our in-depth game discussion podcast, good lord, and Sacred Symbols, of course, our flagship show. Also, laststandmedia.store if you want to get some merch. We got shirts over there, stickers, all that good stuff. Got punching up stickers over there, so please check it out. Also, leave us a nice rating on your podcast service of choice, or a thumbs up, like the video, all that good shit. Helps us out, helps us grow. We want to keep growing. But we have been growing. Thank you guys for supporting us, but let's keep it going. All right, guys. We got some warm-up write-ins here. I just read this guy's yesterday on Summon Sign, but here we go again. This is Huge Load, or Huge Load if you just want to say it. It's like The Simpsons. You guys remember those where Bart would call Mo?
Huge ass.
Yeah, we got huge ass. Man, those are so good. I love that shit.
The one I always remember is Amanda Hugging Kiss.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. Like, no one's last name is Hugging Kiss, but Amanda is so clever.
Did you guys see, this was last year, there was like that, I don't know, it was like a school board meeting or something, and somebody pranked it by writing down like names of people who wanted to speak at the meeting. So the dude's calling out and it's all names like that. You know?
That's really funny.
And then he gets to the end of the list. He's like, all right. And he's acted like, he's like, all right, you had your fun. And it's like, yeah, you read out like 5 fake names. Like, you didn't even catch on until the end. Like, Colin was watching these on YouTube. It was hysterical.
That's awesome. I love that shit. Names like that always make me laugh. It's good, man.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Brad, Gene, and Micah. I want to follow up on the big dick discussion from a few weeks back. Well, this is a few months back, I think, at this point, but we'll get back to it. I can't remember, but was Sora mentioned? I'm wondering if those big ass shoes were signaling something. Thanks. Whoa. I don't know. Everyone's got big ass shoes in that game, so, or that universe.
How old is
So
Sora? How
Sora,
old?
I think the oldest version we know of him is like 16 or 17.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't come up. We're not allowed to talk about this. This
what
is
about
America.
Goofy, though? Goofy's an adult.
Goofy for hooks, all right?
Yeah, he's
like, we know
packing.
that. We know that.
Good hooks? Yeah, he is packing heat. Yeah, there's plenty of older Kingdom Hearts characters, though. I don't know. All the Organization 13, probably Axel. What do you think about Axel, Gene? Do you remember who Axel's?
I don't know.
Redhead?
I'm redheaded.
Oh, yeah,
one,
I
right?
forgot you only got like halfway through the first game. I forgot about that.
I only just got past Tarzan, dude.
Yeah, you're not even halfway. Well, one day we'll get him, guys. One day. Maybe if they show the game again.
Yeah, I like kind of know Kingdom Hearts references. It's really funny to be so outside of Kingdom Hearts, which should be my jam.
Yeah.
But it isn't. So it really is funny. Like it's probably what people probably look at Xenoblade Chronicles and be like, oh, what is that? You know?
Yeah. I just assume you know about Kingdom Hearts chain. I feel like you just know, but you don't. So it's great.
It's just in my DNA. You just look at me. It's like
Yeah.
It's like a racial stereotype.
Yeah. Well, we all know Goofy's packing, so we'll keep it there. Yeah. Sora, stand down. He's a kid. Stand down. When he gets older, though, then we'll come back to it.
You'll get older. How old was he in part 3? He got older, right?
Yeah, he was 14 in the first game, then I think he was 15 in 2. So he's probably like 16 in 3 or 17. I guess
4 is when he's like an adult.
He's probably like 17 or 18.
He's like Noctis aged and finally, right?
So. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know quite about that.
Yeah.
All right. This is from To Tanzua. I know. Okay, I just picked this because it's so weird. I don't even know what to make of it. I know someone who had a dream last night that Nintendo made Hitler a playable character in Splatoon, and in the dream, Hitler was an octoling with purple ink stash, and she was like, "Why did they do that?" But in the dream, a bunch of people picked Hitler. I don't even.
I love how there's like no question.
This. Yeah,
it's just. But in the dream, a bunch of people picked Hitler.
They made a Hitler in Splatoon.
I mean, if they actually did that, yeah, who wouldn't want to play him for one round? You wouldn't play as for one round? I mean,
did for a round, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, come on.
Octoling Hitler? Man, maybe we can get them to do something like that.
Like, why wouldn't I choose him? It's hysterical. It's hysterical. If Nintendo, like, let's just say this, like, Miyamoto has dementia and just, like, green lights a bunch of shit he really shouldn't, it would be hysterical.
Yeah, it would be.
Something like that went through. Yeah, I'd play as Hitler for a round.
Yeah.
To say I did it, all right, to tell your grandkids that you did.
But what if he's like ultra good guy in Splatoon universe? He's like beloved. He's a good guy, a good octoling.
I was going to say, I don't think that'll happen, but given the times these days, who knows? So
you never know.
I don't want to be Hitler. I want to splat Hitler.
Yeah, you could splat Hitler.
Yeah.
So we'll see. See you in Splatoon 4, Hitler, I guess.
I mean, that's the most frustrating thing about the Wolfenstein series is that, the only Wolfenstein game that let us kill Hitler was the very first one. Wolfenstein 3D.
I can't.
And it's like they've been building the trilogy up for a Hitler fight, and it's like, no, well, we'll just make Indiana Jones first. That's why I'm so resentful of Indiana Jones, because it delayed our big Hitler fight.
Well, they had 3 Wolfenstein games. They had New Order, whatever, the New Colossus, I think.
New Colossus and Youngblood.
So
Youngblood.
They had 3 tries.
Yeah, it's their fault.
Yeah, it's their fault
for blue balling us on the Hitler fight.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you got to end on Hitler, man. You got to make that happen. You got to be able to kill Hitler. How can you not do that in Wolfenstein?
Yeah, I mean, like the first guy was Deathhead or whatever like that, and he was a right bastard, so that felt good to kill him. And then I forget who the last boss of New Colossus was.
I never finished that one.
The New Colossus was a great game, but it ended terribly. So
you look up who the final boss was. I won't spoil it for everyone. I'm just curious what it was.
But New Colossus was the one where like Nazis take over America and like the KKK is like walking around the streets and everything like that. It was pretty wild stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, that's enough about Hitler, I guess. All right, guys. Let's see. Last week we had the Pokémon Presents for Pokemon Day, which is, I think it was the 29th anniversary of Pokemon Leaf Green and Fire Red. So a long time. But they had some stuff there. I'll kind of just go through a lot of them. We'll talk about the main thing. New episodes of Pokemon Concierge coming. That was the stop motion show we talked about recently. So there's, I think, 4 more episodes coming September 2025. Looks delightful. None of us have seen it still, though, but I would like to watch it. But I just got to remember it exists. Pokemon Go Tour Unova, just more bullshit. Pokemon being in Pokemon Go, whatever. Pokemon Unite, that is the MOBA Pokemon game. I didn't know that was still around, but they're adding things like Suicune, Alolan Raichu, and Alcreme. Alacreme? I don't know what the fuck that is.
Alcremie. That's the one that's like whipped cream and you eat it. That's the one that literally it makes cream for you to eat. And it makes me deeply uncomfortable. I'm like, this is crossing a line where the Pokemon is food. and we actually eat it.
I think they eat Pokemon, don't they, in that world? Don't they eat like this tourist guy, the steaks? I don't know, man.
I don't know. Are they eating Mr. Mimes? Like, this is where the line is. Like, you could tell me that maybe you'd eat, a Pidgey. But then it's like, but if Pidgey and Mr. Mime are both Pokemon, would it be right to eat Mr. Mime? And you're like, no, because he's like man-shaped. It's like, yeah, but they're all animals.
Well, maybe it's like a culture thing. Maybe like in some countries they eat dogs, but they're pets for us. They eat Mr. Mimes in some regions. I don't know, like the Johto region, they eat Mr. Mimes. I don't know, something like that. Some regions he's a pet. I don't know. Something like that.
This is why Pokemon makes me so uncomfortable. Like, because it crosses too many lines, It's already the thing of like Mickey Mouse has a dog. Yeah. And you're like, all right, well, I kind of just have to deal with that. But okay. And then Pokemon, it's like some of them are food and some of them are not. And some of them are made out of metal, I guess, and alive. I can't do this. I don't have enough imagination left in my body to make this work.
Okay, so I looked this up a little bit. Yes, they do eat some Pokemon in that universe. For example, Slowpoke tails are a delicacy. So those poor Slowpokes are getting their tails eaten, dude.
That's ridiculous.
I was trying to see if there's... Yeah, I guess they have normal animals in that world. I'm trying to look this up because I'm confused as well. I don't know, man.
Like, they can't all be Pokemon, right? Like, there's gotta be one regular dog or something. There's gotta just be like a dog, a horse. That's not a magic horse.
Then like, why is that not a Pokemon? It's like, I don't know at this point. A Pokemon is literally anything. There's like a Pokemon that's a ring of keys. Like, what counts as a Pokemon or not?
That's like what exactly, dude. It's like, oh, it's Magic 8-Ball. Now it's a Pokemon. And it's just like, okay, sure. I mean, I get it that they're running out of ideas. There's like 1,000 of them now, but the lines getting crossed. And I gotta call this out. They were talking about this in the Discord about that whole thing with the Pokemon lore about the half Pokemon child. I'm sure you guys remember. And someone was like, it shouldn't really be a big deal. There's worse stuff than that in Game of Thrones. And it's like, I need to point out that Pokemon is for children and Game of Thrones is not. There's a lot of fucked up stuff out there.
Yes.
And the problem is that the Pokemon are for children. And George R. Martin didn't write Game of Thrones with children in mind. Like, this is where the issue lies. It's not that it's like, whoa. I'm not pearl clutching that there's a half Pokemon child. I'm pearl clutching at the fact that you wrote this with children in mind consuming it.
And even if it's like, it's still weird, man.
It's still fucking weird, all right?
It's still weird, dude. Like, oh, Game of Thrones shit, they all this stuff. It doesn't matter. They both could be fucked up.
They both are indeed.
Yeah. Pokemon is like a family-friendly IP. That's what it's shipped as.
Dude, what's the show with What You Talking About, Willis? What is that? The little Gary Coleman? Is that who that is? Okay.
That's him, yeah.
There's the episode of that show where they get molested. Do you remember that?
No, I haven't watched it.
There's the dude who owns the bicycle shop, and he is a child molester. And they had like a deeply serious episode about not getting molested. But it's like, bro, what the fuck? Why are you putting this in here? It's like,
dude,
it's on that level of like, maybe we just shouldn't have done this. Maybe we didn't need an episode about Gary Coleman getting molested at a bike shop.
Yeah, Different Strokes is the show.
Aptly named.
Was this in like the 70s? It looks like the 70s, I think.
Yeah, this is not 80s, modern.
I think 80s.
Okay,
I remember Different Strokes.
Yeah, go watch the bicycle shop episode. It's really
wild
something.
times.
Yeah. I have seen Gary Coleman in person because he went to E3 every year.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah, he used to go to E3 all the time. And then sure enough, he was there in 2002. And I was like, holy shit, that's Gary Coleman.
That's crazy. What the fuck, dude?
I always wanted to be like, oh, Mr. Coleman, I'm a big fan of your grill. Like, just to like, mix him up with George Foreman. Like, I always thought it would have been really funny to have the premise of you mixed him up with George Foreman, like complete opposites, not alike in any way, but just to fucking do it. Unfortunately, he died before I ever got to meet him and make that joke.
Rest in peace. Yeah, he probably would have hated you for saying that too. So maybe it's a good thing.
Maybe he would have laughed. Maybe he would have laughed, right?
That guy's probably heard every single joke about him under the sun. Everything. You're probably like the 30th person to say that. Would be to say that to him. You think you're all clever. All right. Let's see. Pokemon Champions. This is kind of interesting to me. It's like it looks like Pokemon Stadium essentially, and I know people like Stadium a lot in those arena battling Pokemon games. It is going to be on Switch and mobile though, which is interesting. So I assume it'll have cross battles, and I know a lot of people are into the battles scene of Pokemon. So I hope it's cool. It's not really for me, but I hope people enjoy it, and we'll see more about it, I guess, this year. All right, big, dumb, stupid idiot wrote in. Howdy, my fellow 2B milkers. That includes you, Micah.
No, I'm not
too
included.
Bad.
I'm
yeah, too
lactose
bad.
Intolerant.
No, you're there with me and Jane. Sorry. Pokemon Champions will be the biggest change to Pokemon because it duplicates the competitive multiplayer from mainline games. Oh, sorry, decouples, not duplicates.
Yeah.
Balancing both aspects independently is going to allow mainline entries to focus on being RPGs. Competitive will be all able to use all the battle mechanics and have actual balance patches. Pokemon Champions is going to be a Fortnite-sized money printer for Nintendo. Whoa. Do you think I came out of the pussy drawing like fucking Mozart kind of day? What are you talking about?
What is that from?
What does that mean?
That's way too specific.
What?
What are you talking about? Is this like a Chris Ray Gun thing?
I don't know. I posted a meme for you in the Discord though, Brad, about milk. Because it's one of those. If I have to think about this, then so do you.
Ew. Ew. I regret looking at this immediately.
Oh, this is a Game Grumps reference, Micah.
I can't tell you how many times I think of Taste the Milk of a Crab, like just in my brain. It's just always in there.
The Mozart line is a Game Grumps reference.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't even heard that one.
I don't remember, but Aaron's apparently said it's in the Reddit. So
I had one of those Nelson Mandela moments where I 100% attributed something to Game Grumps.
Mandela moment. Mandela effect. I don't know why it's called the Mandela effect either, by the way. So I'm with you there.
Do you guys know of the quote where it's a
Mandela moment?
Do you guys know of the quote where a guy is like screaming about Glenda, like from Wizards of Oz being a princess? He's like, "She came down in a bubble, bro. She's a princess." Like that's like a really old clip.
That whole video. Yeah.
So I literally, I'd never seen that video. However, Aaron does a perfect impression of it on Game Grumps. But I like just attributed it to him doing a crazy thing, like Aaron says crazy things. And it wasn't until last week that I actually saw the real video and I was like, oh my God, this is like some other dude. And this whole time I thought it was a Game Grumps bit.
Damn.
Like,
yeah, the original video was completely unhinged and he was so wrong too, actually.
It's so funny. He's like, get educated, bro. Like it's so funny.
He was super wrong, even though he was so committed to it. That was the funniest thing about the video. I was just like, dude. Get educated, bro.
Get educated, dude.
I've definitely been that pissed off about something before too, though. Probably something about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, absolutely. We've all been there in some regard.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, the final thing they showed was finally Pokemon ZA. It's ZA, not ZA, so we are spared from that. Okay. But the ZA could be our little inside joke. Let's see. Takes place in Lumino City. And so the whole game's in a city, it looks like. There's a trailer if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah.
The starters are Chikorita, Typig, and Totodile. So Cyndaquil, the one that got canceled for having a half-breed abomination baby, did not make it in this game. I'm just kidding, because they were in Arceus, I guess, someone said. But that's the headcanon I like to use. They got canceled out of the game. So it looks interesting, I guess, going around the city. There's some traversal actually going on there, like going across roofs and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of curious about it. I hate the trainer's outfit immediately. Like they have a fedora on. I'm like, what are you guys doing? This is a big mistake right away. Yeah.
French.
I think my favorite shot from the trailer is to see those garbage Pokemon, like Garbodor, literally in a back alley, just sitting on the floor, a bunch of garbage piles. That's good shit. But it looks like a Switch game. I saw people saying this is a Switch 2 game, and I was like, dude, this does not look like a Switch 2 game, guys. I know Pokemon bar is very low for graphics on Switch, but this looks like a Switch game, dudes. 100%.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't think the graphics look terrible. I'm not like my boy RGT85 who puts out videos saying this is unacceptable. It's totally acceptable for millions and millions of people.
Yeah.
But let's not get it twisted. The graphics aren't that great.
No. Yeah, they're not that great.
They look like they look like they should have been back in like 2014, 2013.
Yeah.
So they're 10 years behind, but we're catching up. It looks fine, but it's definitely a Switch one.
Yeah, it's a Switch one game. 100%.
Especially since I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles X right now, and it's like there are massive, massive monsters, and you can see monsters like way far out.
Yeah,
like in a massive, seamless world.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's a Wii U game, So yeah, this is solidly a Switch one game.
But yeah, it's to me it's most important if it runs well. It just needs to run stable, and I think we'll be in good business. My expectations are not high. It is a Switch after all. Switch is very old at this point, so I'm not like too worried about it. But it looks kind of interesting. The combat looks like you can move around and dodge a little bit with your Pokemon. So that seems
Xenoblade.
Cool.
That's Xenoblade.
Yeah. That's Xenoblade stuff. Yeah.
Very
cool.
Having different positions. Well, that's like Final Fantasy 14 also, right?
Sure.
But yeah, that's MMO combat right there.
Yeah. Got some of those mega evolutions. See a little mega evolution of Charizard. Looks very cool. Micah, what do you think about this trailer so far? Anything interesting to you?
I think the crocodile is very cute.
Yeah.
He's very cute.
Is definitely the best.
I would pick him. I do think it's neat to have this be set in a city like that. It really does highlight that previously. Sorry, I had to really cough. Previously, like I said, this cold was mostly convenient, but the cough still lingers.
Yeah.
Previous Pokemon games really did feel like these are like country sort of settings. Like these are your kids who live out in, semi-rural places and they get to go catch all the Pokemon. And it's not a thing for city slickers, but they're like, no. Yeah. The city is Pokemon too. Like, and it's interesting to see them. It seems like there's way too many. Here's the deal, all right? Like, how do you square it up that you go from having to walk around a bunch of tall grass and maybe find a Pokemon, and then I'm in this city and there's everywhere?
Yeah.
Like, all right. But I like the concept and I like the change of scenery. It's a really cool thing to do than to continue. Because, of course, a lot of Pokemon games, the point is like, okay, like this is like a Hawaiian themed area. And it's like we're making these outdoor spaces, different climates, blah, blah, blah. But this one's like, yeah, let's do it in a city.
Yeah.
So I respect the idea. I don't know how much sense it makes, but I respect that they're doing something different.
Yeah, and this is like a spin-off Pokemon game, it's not a mainline one, I guess. So the perfect place to experiment. I want you guys to go to timestamp at 101 and just look at this guy in this trailer. This guy is freaking me out.
Oh.
I don't know why he is so tall.
Why does he have a tail?
He looks like a Bloodborne guy transforming into a beast very slowly. I don't know what's going on there.
I'm upset by that. I mean, he's like attractive, but like I'm upset by that. Like good face, but the rest of it.
Good face, but he's very tall.
Very tall. That works for him, kind of like an eldritch quality, a little eldritch, je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, he's got it for sure. But Pokemon ZA, it's coming late 2025, so this was Switch 1, obviously, but I wonder if there'll be a Switch 2 version. God, I hope so by this time. But who knows? It's a Pokemon company and Nintendo. We will never know. All we can do is hope. All right. Next thing we got here is Super Soccer leaving Nintendo Switch Online. So this is interesting because I believe this is the first game to be removed from the service. It's something we've never had before, as far as I'm aware, a game going away. And it sets a precedent, Now we can get to the point where are they going to start taking these games away? I don't know. To me, it kind of just like, maybe it's not worth worrying about in a sense, but it kind of sets up a slippery slope, in my opinion, about stuff that could go away. Micah, what do you think about this? Is it a big deal or nothing to worry about?
I'm going to say it's a medium-sized deal. Here's why. I'm going to relate this to the RSS feed situation at Last Stand Media. We had some people write in who were like, I had 40 shows in my to watch list and now they're gone. And I'm like, I gotta be honest, I don't think you're ever going to actually listen to all 40 of those shows. I'm just being honest. I know you liked having them there, and the shows are still there, just, the lists weren't populated. But it's like, I understand you liked having them there, but I don't think you're ever going to listen to it. And with some of these games, it sucks to think, oh, okay, I kind of thought this was a permanent offering, and now I know that some of these will filter in and out potentially. However, to a certain degree, it's like, if you've been sitting on some of these games, if you've had a subscription this whole time and it's like, well, I never got around to playing it. It's like, I don't think you were going to.
Sure.
So this is just to say, as a consumer, if you have this subscription and there's something you want to play, prioritize it. I don't want to see games getting taken off the service. There's multiple things in there that I want to play. Now I know I should potentially prioritize those, because I don't know if this catalog is as permanent as I thought it was.
Gene, any thoughts about this?
Same. I am not a fan. It is, I don't know. It's the first drop, right?
Yeah.
And Nintendo is not the best. They're kind of the worst at preservation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Look, I'm a huge Nintendo fan, and I glaze them all the time. But facts are facts. They're not. They're one of the worst in terms of preservation. I'd say even PlayStation is better at this point. I mean, the remasters and re-releases are great. I don't know why. I personally love those. Obviously, I'm
right.
loving Xenoblade Chronicles X re-release again. But yeah, for their old history, it's not like this game is some kind of grail that needs to be preserved. Well, maybe it was. I never played it. And now I feel bad that I didn't. But to Micah's point, it's my fault that I didn't go, oh, Super Soccer. I never played this.
Right.
But it does make me a little nervous, because there are a lot of games that I love on there, but I haven't touched. But I'm just glad that they're there. And it's like, oh, that's not a certainty anymore. And it never was. But now this is just proof that it isn't. So yeah, it definitely gets me a little nervous. And again, I hope Nintendo, if you're listening, just please. eShop, library, digital store, that's the best way to preserve things if you want to keep moving forward. And hopefully that's what the Switch 2 will do. So,
yeah. Virtual console.
So at the very least, starting with the Switch. The Switch is a huge base with a crap ton of games that aren't great sometimes, but at least they're all there. So it's like, if you can preserve it on the digital storefront and keep it going, then that's the least you could do. But yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I think it'll be a big deal. Like right now, most people just don't care because never even heard of this game, and I totally get that. But I wonder what it's going to be like if it happens to a game people really like or something like that.
Right. Like if it was, Zelda Oracle of Seasons is being taken off, and it's like, whoa, what?
I'd be like, what?
Exactly. And I want to be very clear that I don't like that this is happening. It's just one of those things of, well, we're all kind of not super happy with the fact that we can't just buy the games in the first place.
Right.
So it's like, this is another reason why it would be fantastic to be able to just purchase these legacy titles and just be able to play them at your leisure whenever you want. And especially, like Gene said, I truly hope that this is going to be the generation where the Switch eShop stays online, because it will hopefully be like right in the sidestep with Switch 2's eShop.
Yeah.
Like, I do not want to see another 3DS situation where you simply cannot buy digital games for it anymore, and you can only find them physical or whatever. Try to emulate if you're smart enough to do so. I just don't want to see that happen, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen with Switch. Like, let us continue using this platform, please, because like you said, it has such an extensive library, and it really is just, so that's like my biggest fear in seeing something like this. Then it gets me thinking like, man, I hope that several years from now the Switch eShop doesn't get shut down like the 3DS one before and all that.
That'd be a sad day. Yeah, they gotta just carry that stuff over and let it be unified. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. We still have many questions. Hopefully Switch 2, when they actually give it a proper showing, we'll get more info on that. But I don't know. With Nintendo, I never know. All right, guys. So I think earlier this week or recently, it was Switch's 8th year anniversary. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to go down memory lane and talk about some of the releases and where we were at the time, thinking about all that stuff. So I have a bunch of the launch titles written out right away. So we'll just go over what they came out with on launch day. First of all, we had 1-2 Switch. Now, I played this. I was at Easy Allies when this came out. We had a big stream with all these, and it was a lot of fun. Did you guys play 1-2 Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah? Gene, did you play it?
I played it for maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Gene, if you come to our house for the concert, we gotta play 1-2 Switch. It's one of my favorite games, and Colin doesn't want to play it.
He does not seem thrilled about that.
Oh my God, it's one of my favorites. We can play. My favorite one is the treasure chest, and it's wrapped in a chain, and you got to turn around the joystick to unravel it.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
Really good at that one.
Isn't there an eating one? I'm trying to remember. You eat something. So it looks like you're pulling a dick up to your mouth. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, milking the cow, another favorite.
Yeah, that's another favorite. Yeah, a deviant favorite. I remember the quick draw one, of course, was fun. Yeah. I always loved the quick draw one. So that's definitely one of those gimmick games that they always have at console launches. I'm really interested to see what Switch 2 gimmick games are going to be when they launch it. So it's going to be exciting.
I like the gimmick games though. They're always fun, you know. That's why I bought 1-2 Switch, because it's just fun to have, you know. Especially at launch, because there's jack shit to play at launch anyway. So
yeah, usually.
Yeah.
Okay, so then also we had Just Dance 2017. I don't know. I didn't play it. Just Dance. It's been around forever. It's the same thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Still quietly doing just fine. Then we have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the main attraction, I would say, the console launch. Gene, take me back to when you first played Breath of the Wild. I know you played it on Switch later, because you played it on Wii U first, right?
I did play on Wii U. I bought the damn Wii U for Breath of the Wild and Bayonetta 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, a reminder, I haven't been a game journalist for very long, only since the end of 2019. I don't buy systems at launch. The Wii is the only system I've ever bought at launch. I didn't even buy the PS4 at launch.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox 360 I bought way later. PS3 I bought way later. Everything I bought way later. So the Switch I bought a couple months afterwards, but I definitely played it on the Wii U first. I loved it on the Wii U. I played mostly in handheld in the in the tablet form. Just because I like playing video games in the handheld tablet form, because for me, here's the root of it. I'm from Guam, and on Guam, we would often not have electricity. You know, that happened all the time when it was raining, when there was a storm, or even when there's jack shit happening. Our power system was just freaking terrible, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't rely on my consoles or a computer or anything besides my Game Boy or my Game Gear, and that was like the love of my life. And so for me, like, if everything goes to shit, I at least I am secure that I have my little game console here, you know, as if I can charge it somewhere else, if I can find the charger somewhere else, you know. And that's what I always did. I always brought the charger to a hotel or the store or something, you know.
Yeah, it's like the old reliable for you.
Yep. So that's where a lot of my anxiety and like my love for handhelds come from. So yeah, I played through the whole thing. I beat Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, and I was like, that was awesome. Yeah. And then, but I was like super depressed. I was just going through a breakup and everything. So I was like, man, that new Nintendo system though, you know. And I bet Zelda looks even better at a higher resolution, and I bet that screen looks even better. So that's why I went to Craigslist, and I was like, just someone sell me a Switch. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I have money. I'll give you money.
Man, that Wii U screen, woof.
It was fuzzy as hell. It was very, very fuzzy. Even when I was enjoying it, I was like, I know I'm playing a really, really fuzzy version. This is fuzzy as hell.
Yeah.
And I didn't have an HDTV at the time. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just had a regular monitor that I was using. You know, it was a classic. what the male living spaces picture.
Oh yeah, like a chair and a TV. That's
Yeah,
it.
it was a chair on a TV diner like tray or whatever. I just set the monitor there, and I'm just like playing on my couch like that, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, I don't need a TV. This is fine, what games, whatever. I can play it in whatever. And then a couple years later, I just bought a TV.
Nice.
I was actually, I think I just bought it for the Switch because I was like, I want to see Zelda on the big screen. So
yeah. Tell me, Gene.
That was fantastic.
Tell me, Gene, the first few hours of your playthrough, how did it feel to you?
Oh my god. Breath of the Wild is so special. Breath of the it's been so long that I'm glad you asked this question, because it's good to remember how special Breath of the Wild was. I felt like I was playing a dream.
Yeah.
This was like my dream video game. Everyone's always complaining about, oh man, they ruined Zelda. I wish they would go back to the formula or whatever. For me, this is the dream Zelda game. This is a Zelda game that I think they should have always been making the whole time. Because I love Zelda 1.
Yeah.
Because Breath of the Wild is like Zelda 1. That's what people always seem to forget whenever they call Breath of the Wild not real Zelda. It's like, no, it is the most real Zelda in that it goes back to its complete roots as a top-down RPG that was inspired by wizardry, and Dungeons and Dragons. So you are meant to be kind of creating your own story as you're exploring this world, and that's why I loved just going around the Great Plateau. I spent like hours in the Great Plateau just messing around with the physics. Man, when you see the map and you see the big square or triangle or in the corners, and you're like, what is that? And you just try to go there, just see out of the ocean. Climbing Death Mountain for the first time. Like it really felt like I was there, Yeah. Hyrule feels like a real place. If you drop me virtually into Hyrule right now, I'd be like, oh, I know exactly where to go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Which is exactly what happened in Tears of the Kingdom when we dropped down into Hyrule, and you're like, all right, well, we're back. Let's start finding things that might be interesting, that were interesting in the last game, and let's see what's there now, right?
Yep.
But exploring Breath of the Wild was just so magical. When I was playing it, I was like, this is the best game I've ever played. And it kind of still is. I think Tears of the Kingdom, gameplay-wise, beats it. But I would still count Zelda Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom as like my third favorite game of all time.
Sure, yeah. I remember I played it at E3 before it was out, Gene.
Wow.
And I just remember being like, whoa, this is crazy. This feeling of freedom and all these different things like weapon durability and stuff like that. It felt so new. And I'm a huge Zelda enthusiast, so it was very exciting playing that game. Ultimately, I was disappointed in some areas like the Divine Beast. I'm not too huge of a fan of.
Yeah.
But in some of the story, exploring Hyrule for the first time was an incredible feeling. It's something like I rarely get in games, and I will forever cherish my first playthrough of that game, just going through Hyrule and discovering stuff for the first time. Even just simple stuff like you're saying, the physics just impacted the world. Like I chopped down a tree one time, Gene, like over a gap, and I walked over and I was like, whoa, that was sick.
Yeah, that's on the Great Plateau.
Yeah. I was like, this is so cool. I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a core memory right there,
Yeah.
Also the art style.
It looks great.
Spoilers for Wind Waker, I guess. But a 2002 game.
Yeah.
But at the end of Wind Waker, they kind of give hints as to like what an overworld of Hyrule might look like, right? But then you don't really get to explore it. No. And I was like, man,
I remember that feeling, Gene. I'm like, fuck.
I was like, God, I wish we had a game like this, a game that looked like this, but I can wander around as a little cell shaded Link, and that's basically what this game is, except that you get to wander around as cell shaded adult Link, which is exactly what like us adults want, right?
Yeah,
it's perfect. The climate mechanic was wild to get used to. Where it's like, oh, I can just climb on everything and anything. Like the entire game is Shadow of the Colossus, That's another thing. This game really evoked Shadow of the Colossus for me, which is still like one of my favorite video games of all time.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely one of the best gaming experiences ever made. So for Zelda to be here and be like, oh, the whole experience is kind of like Shadow Colossus. Maybe you're not finding Colossi, but the sense of scale and mystery and exploration is all there, you know. Shout out to Monolith Soft.
Yeah, shout out Monolith Soft,
the developers of Xenoblade Chronicles, because Nintendo saw them make Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and Xenoblade Chronicles X, and they're like, yo, you guys make some worlds really, really good. Can you help us out with ours? And they're like, yeah, no problem. You make it like this. Yeah. And it turns out to be the best, one of the best worlds ever, you know?
Yeah. Mike, I know you haven't played it. I look forward to you eventually playing it, though, as you make your way through Zelda games slowly.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay,
I'm not playing those.
All right, never mind.
No, here's the thing, right? I was so excited for this game. I was so excited. All right, you get to do the little cooking and all that. And I'm like, oh, wow, like this is cool. And I remember being so angry at like it rained and everything was slippery. And I remember being so angry.
The raining was...
I was like, you know what, bro? Yeah, like, that's not real life. I'm not like, that's not real life. All right. The rain, like, it's not it's not a tsunami out here. I just remember like getting like, all right. And then the weapon's breaking and I was like, all right. And then I just was like, I don't like this. And I'm too stupid for the puzzles at the time, you know? Definitely not a good choice for baby's first Zelda game. So I still don't love the style, I don't think. Like, I have no desire to play Tears of the Kingdom. The main reason for that, though, is the story is, like, way too in your face. Like, leave me the fuck alone. It's Zelda. What are you doing? I don't want you to...
For how much time or how big that game is, there's not a lot of story. There's more than past games, I'd say, in some ways. But for the amount of hours you play that game, you can go a long time without seeing a cutscene. Long time.
I don't know about story being in your face. I feel like the story a lot of people complain that the story wasn't in our faces a lot.
That's the thing. Like, what I enjoy about these other Zelda games I've played is that, you kind of just bop along and do your own thing. And every once in a while, something happens and then you just keep doing your own thing. And I mean, I watched Game Grumps play Tears of the Kingdom and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of dialogue in this. Like, why don't you shut the fuck up and let me go do something? And I'm never usually the person to say that, but I'm like,
that's weird because there's barely any dialogue in Tears of the Kingdom.
Like, I feel like it's just
it's probably just the way Aaron played it, but
or the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
I was like, it's too much. It's not what I want out of Zelda. So I mean, and the building, I don't want to build shit. I watched Aaron try to build like a hot air balloon, and I'm like, this looks like shit. I don't want to do it. You know, I just don't want to build things.
You don't have to build.
You don't have to build
your own things. Yeah, they have like
that's Aaron making the game hard for himself. Honestly, that's the issue. I mean, that's what Sonic fans have been complaining for years. Is that Aaron has been playing the games terribly and making fun of them, even though he likes Sonic games, but he doesn't play them in a way that's fun. And he did not play Tears of the Kingdom. I watched Tears of the Kingdom too, and it was honestly it was kind of the reason why I stopped watching Game Grumps, because it's so frustrating. Because it's like you're not playing the game, bro. Just go to the Wind Temple for Christ's sake, you know.
That's the thing. I was just like, I don't know, man. This like giant sheep guy's talking a lot, and Zelda's bothering me, and. You know, I was like, I'm not feeling. Maybe I'll try it in several years. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I really was just like, nah. I don't know. I was actually thinking the other day of maybe trying Breath of the Wild again, but I just don't.
No, just wait till see what happens when Switch 2 comes out. They might do a different version.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Colin played it, right? There's probably a copy somewhere in this house, unless he like threw it down the garbage disposal.
He might have given it away.
He might have. You might have. I still have $23 to spend at GameStop, so gotta get rid of that. It's either Skyrim or Breath of the Wild. You pick.
Well, wait till Switch 2 comes out to see what they're gonna do with, because they might do a new version of Breath of the Wild. All right. Next, we had Skylander Imaginators. I never played these. I have no idea. Are these the toy ones, I'm assuming, I guess, still at this time?
I did not even remember this one at all. Wow.
Yeah, where you had like that toys or whatever. But yeah, man, weird time. all those games where he had toys, Disney Infinity and stuff. Man.
Yeah, I forgot about the Disney one. You're right, because like when I worked retail, and we'd occasionally get like Skylanders. I worked at like essentially a discount store that would get closeout merchandise, and when we'd occasionally get Skylanders, it'd be like a big deal because people like we might only get a handful of them, and the people go nuts about it, right? But I forgot about the Disney one. This whole thing of the toys and incorporating them into the game, very interesting time.
Yeah, so we had that. Then we had I Am Setsuna. This was from Tokyo RPG Factory, who was part of Square Enix. This was their first game, I believe. Really cool game. I really like I Am Setsuna a lot. Very somber game. All takes place in snow. Very nice soundtrack. Cool game if you like a lot of the more old school RPG designs. But yeah, Mike, it seemed like you enjoyed this game.
Oh, yeah. No, I loved I Am Setsuna. I played it first on PlayStation. I do own a physical Switch copy, which my dog ate. So she chose the rarest games in my collection to eat, including the Untitled Goose Game and I Am Setsuna. She did a great job. She picked some decent ones.
Nice work.
But, oh, dude, I love I Am Setsuna. Excellent soundtrack. The story is just like, dude, that game had me in tears. Like, it's just so good. So well done. Very moving. And I love, of course, the setting because it's like snowy. And games, I always love when there's a winter level in games or like a winter setting. So I Am Setsuna just being like this gorgeous snowy landscape. I fucking love that game. I'm probably due for a replay of that soon. That's an example of a game I have replayed a couple times and could see myself playing again. It's also not a very long game, though. That's a big part of it.
Yeah, it's a shorter game, but yeah. Gene, any thoughts on I Am Setsuna?
Nope, never touched it.
Okay, cool.
Gene, oh my God, Gene, you have to play it. It's so good. I never say that, Gene. You know me. I never say that, but you got to play it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I like all three of their games. So I always liked that studio, but alas, they are no more. Sadly.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Next, we have Snipper Clips. You guys know I love me some Snipper Clips. A goofy little game about shapes and fitting together into weird stuff. Love this game. Really fun co-op game, especially if you got pals to play with, if you want to yell at each other. It's a good time. I highly recommend it. Micah, you hate Snipper Clips, right?
Yeah, it made me really anxious. But like you said, because I love Overcooked for the same reason. Like I loved, screaming at my roommate playing Overcooked, and like we're getting like so antsy and hyped up over making soup, right? But Snipper Clips, I don't know why. Snipper Clips gave me like the Tetris feeling in my brain where I was just like in panic mode, and not the fun panic. It was just panic. So it didn't jive with me.
Yeah. Shout out Snipper Clips. They eventually made Crow Country. That was their newest game, which was that survival horror game that came out last year. So happy they're still around. Next, we have Shovel Knight, Treasure Trove, and Spectre of Torment. I love Shovel Knight. This was the package with everything in it. This came with the 2 DLCs before. Or I'm sorry, there's only 2 in this one. So there was the Plague Knight one. I forgot that was called Plague of Shadows.
Confusing. Yeah, I was so confused at these releases.
Yeah, so Treasure Trove was both of them combined. So it was Shovel Knight, then Plague of Shadows, then Spectre of Torment.
Yeah, so I fucking bought them both.
Yeah. Then they eventually added King of Cards, which was like the final one. But I love Shovel Knight. These are all really great. The campaigns are really fun. Spectre of Torment was a lot of fun. Gene, any thoughts on it?
I never actually finished Shovel Knight.
Okay.
Yeah, to be quite honest, I'm not. I haven't really tapped into like the whole retro indie game scene. All that much. They're okay. I'm not calling it. I'm not dying to play 2D games all the time.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But Shovel Knight, I think it's great. Micah, of course, Colin loves this. Have you ever played these? I know you don't really like platformers like this, though.
No, yeah, just too difficult for me, honestly. I think Shovel Knight is a really cool game series, and I like watching other people play it, but I don't have the skill set for it. I've tried. It's not for me.
Yeah. Well, at least you tried it. That's good. Then the final game was Fast RMX. It kind of looks like Wipeout. I've never actually played this, but a very fast-paced racing game where you're on hover machines just like Wipeout or like F-Zero. Seems kind of cool. I wonder how it was, but I haven't heard anything about it. Gene, did you ever play this?
I did, yeah.
Was it cool?
Yeah, it was good. It's not quite Wipeout, but it was good, and it was a fun time, and it looked really good on the Switch screen. And it was a nice display of like fast graphics on the Switch.
Yeah.
So yeah, it totally reminded me of Wipeout, so I was totally into it. I remember it kind of. No, that was Thumper. Yeah.
Anything at Thumper?
Yeah. I'm thinking with Thumper about how it's kind of times with the vibration of the Joy-Cons, but that wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a pretty simple game. Definitely something to just pass the time as you're waiting for others. But
yeah,
it was pretty good. I remember it as one of the better Switch launch games for sure.
Nice.
But I didn't play it that much because I was too busy playing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It really was just Breath of the Wild.
I know. That's right.
It was just a Breath of the Wild machine for like months and months, and that was totally fine because the game took months and months to finish, anyways.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And imagine if Xenoblade X came out for like on the Switch
on Switch.
Wii U.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be a way different story for that story.
Yeah.
For that game. Way different story for that game in terms of acceptance and popularity because it was just buried on the Wii U. Anyways.
Yep. So I want to talk about just a couple games that came out in 2017, not at launch time though. First, we have Mario and Rabbids plus Kingdom Battle. This was such a strange crossover game to see. I remember hearing about this game being like, what is this? A XCOM kind of like Mario game where you're shooting stuff with the Rabbids from Rayman. And man, that game's really fun. I had a really good time playing that game. Did you guys ever play it?
I didn't really jive with it, like, because I feel like they did a demo or something, or maybe I just tried it, like a friend owned it. I definitely tried it at some point. Just wasn't 100% sold on it, but I loved the trailer they did where it's like there's like Rabid Peach or whatever, and she like sniffs Princess Peach, is like, ah. Like I remember thinking like this is so cute and adorable, and I'll check it out. But at the time, I was like, I'm not feeling this gameplay, but I'd never played anything like that before, and that was part of it. I was like, I don't know if I really enjoy this, but it looked cute, colorful, fun. But no, it didn't hook me. I would maybe try it again someday.
Okay. Gene, did you ever play
it? Kingdom Battle? Yeah, I loved it. It was
nice.
I was obsessed with it. It was these are tactical shooters, and this is if there's a tactical shooter to try, Micah, this would be the best one maybe. Although it is way harder than people think. It's simpler than like Gears of War Tactics or XCOM. It has simpler rules, but towards the end of the game got really hard. Bowser was an intense fight where it's like, okay, I can't make any mistakes. You have to fight through this. But yeah, I loved it. Rabbid Peach even had her own Instagram where she was trying to become like a Rabbid Peach influencer. So like. It would just have her. She would like be posting thirst traps of herself, like on Instagram. like she'd be like posting feet and like put pictures of herself in the bath and everything like that, and her doing her makeup. I loved it. I loved everything about that. Rabbit Peach is yeah. I love all women. Hashtag all women. So
hashtag all women.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And Rabbit Peach is definitely one of them too. So shout out to Rabbit Peach if you're listening.
Yeah. Then we had also ARMS, which came out on June 16th. Yeah, you guys are speaking highly of it. Talk to me, Micah, about ARMS.
It was just so fun. As someone who typically is not able to get into fighting games because it's like they're too complicated, right? Like for me, I didn't grow up playing them, so the idea of actually mastering all those combos is just, it's like learning French, which I also can't do, okay? ARMS was simplistic enough that I could pick it up and play it. You needed the finesse, you needed to be faster than the other person, but you really just had this simplistic system that anyone could learn. The characters, like the variety of characters, they were so like just beautifully done, really exceptional design. I loved ARMS immediately, and it's one of my great disappointments that it didn't take off further, only because like the multiplayer potential is there on Switch. You know, people love Splatoon. People got really into Splatoon. ARMS just didn't get that same traction, but I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gene, you're a big fan too, right?
Yeah, totally. It was so unique. You can even you don't have to play with the motion controls. I know people are out there were probably scared off with the motion controls. You can just do it with the regular controller. It's very precise. There's a lot of strategy to it. Fighting the secret end game boss was really really hard and cool. The combat feels good. It feels really obviously punchy. There was a lot of technique to it. You can do little twists and turns, the way you cross your different arms and the way the different weapons interacted with each other. It was a really, really deep game, and it's really too bad that it didn't fly off the shelves like Splatoon did. The character designs were all so beautiful. They were diverse, and nobody cared about DEI back then. So they were all gorgeous looking characters. Yeah, it's just I was so happy to see Min Min go into Smash, and I was really hoping that might have so Min Min is the girl with ramen hair and ramen arms, which is again it's just a fantastic character design. Arms. I hope Nintendo doesn't give up on Arms, and Nintendo doesn't give up on a lot of their IP. They usually like to give their IP another chance, or just let them do their own thing. And I'm hoping, I'd be so happy to see Arms 2 on the Switch too.
Sure, yeah.
Me and Micah will be ecstatic. I'll play Arms 2 with you for sure, Micah.
Hell yeah!
All right. Also, we had Sonic Mania, a 2D Sonic game, a really good Sonic game actually. Gina, you've played this, I assume, right?
Which one again?
Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania. Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Excellent 2D Sonic game. Really good. Definitely help with the upswing of Sonic having good games again. So I was very happy to see this game. It's really fun. So check it out if you're curious about it. Mike, have you played this?
No. And I'll note that early 2017, when the Switch actually came out, I was still working retail. That would have been like my last semester of college, and so money was tight back then. So it's like I was able to secure a Switch, but like got very few games for it. So it really was only the things I was like, I 100% believe I'm going to like this, right? And otherwise it was waiting to get things on GameFly, which when it's like new games, man, you'd have to leave your queue clear for like 2 weeks hoping to get a new game, and sometimes you'd still miss it. So I did not play that one. And then it just kind of, I ended up getting like my first real job late 2017. That was when I was actually able to start buying more games and start just being able to check things out, more on a whim, basically. Mm-hmm. But no, I missed out on that Sonic game.
Yeah. Next, SteamWorld Dig 2. I don't know if you guys have played this game, but I really liked this game. Basically, the whole game is you're digging underground. It was so fun. I had so much fun playing this game. Awesome soundtrack, really cool design. Gene, have you ever played this?
I did not play this one. Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Check it out.
And again, to the listeners, sorry if I'm like not paying attention to Brad at the time. I'm also working at the same time as I'm podcasting. It just comes with the territory of me being on this network. So sometimes I get a message and I need to pay attention to that versus the conversation. So apologies again, Brad, to you.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
If I'm not paying attention, because I'm not. So.
Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, SteamWorld Dig 2, awesome game. Mike, have you played this?
No, it's funny you mentioned that, because when I was browsing games to try and get rid of my GameStop credit, I just came across that one and I was like, I've never actually played this. I don't know what it is. It was just one of those things of like, that's a name I have heard 100 times, but I really never looked into it.
There's a lot of SteamWorld games, not necessarily Dig.
There's like SteamWorld Heist now.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And I always remember hearing people talk about this, but I'm like, I don't even know what it is. And I never looked.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a cool game.
Yeah, like sometimes you hear something and it's just like, it excites no interest, right? Yeah. Sometimes you just hear the name of a game and it's wrong. It should excite interest. You find out later that you were a fool to ignore it. But at the time, you're like, this does nothing for me. Yeah. Like, oh, egg captor Sakura Plus, no thanks. And you find out later it's the best game you've ever played.
Yeah. Then we had Splatoon 2, which was a big game, of course, very popular in Japan. Big IP now for Nintendo. This was the first one I played. I never played Splatoon 1, and it's good. I don't love Splatoon, not because I don't think it's a good game. It just doesn't hook me for some reason. I think it's really smart and really creative, and I really appreciate that. But it just, something about it just doesn't get its hooks into me, and I wish it did more. But I know Splatoon's a huge IP, especially now. Mike, did you ever try Splatoon 2?
Oh yeah, Splatoon 2 I was a huge fan of because I tried original Splatoon on Wii U, and that was when it was motion controls only. And I was just like, bro, I'm a competitive person when I get into an online game. Okay, I love my Call of Duty online. I love Gears of War. All right. And this was not working. I was like, it's 100% skill issue for me, but I cannot be competitive with the motion controls. I just couldn't. And so that was a complete miss for me. Splatoon 2, the motion controls being like optional, that's what got me into it. I played a ton of Splatoon 2. I loved it. Like that was when I was like, okay, now I 100% understand the game, respect what it's doing. But the motion controls only on Wii U, big fucking mistake. Because I really was just like, I'm too competitive to do this because like I don't want to do the learning curve.
Right.
Like I suck. And I don't like this feeling, and I'm just gonna bounce.
Yeah, I totally get it. Gene, did you play Splatoon 2?
Yes, this was the one that got me into Splatoon in the first place. I played Splatoon 1 at a friend's house, and a bunch of kids were playing it. And I was like, hey, what's up, kids? What you playing here?
Hey, fellow kids.
Hey, fellow kids. I was totally, hey, fellow kids. And they're like, yeah, we're playing Splatoon. This is the latest game from Nintendo.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, really? And I played it. I was like, whoa, gyro controls. And I got used to gyro controls immediately. And I realized that it's much better than using the regular controls, especially for Splatoon, because, you don't need gyro to be precise in Splatoon. You just need to splat. You just need to be facing in the general direction. So as long as you're just turning the controller in that general direction, then the splatting is just fine, and you're trying to paint the ground rather than actually hitting other characters, right?
Yep.
So I totally got used to that immediately. So when Splatoon 2 came out, I was like, oh, I remember I had a great time with those kids. Let me check this out, and I was guys, come on. I just loved it. Here's the thing, Brad. The reason why Splatoon is awesome is because the unlocking shit is so fun. I love the fashion in the game, the different clothes you get.
Sure, yeah.
That stuff is just so fun. So just being able to customize your tune with different like glasses and the different guns you get. You can upgrade your guns too. The more you play, Splatoon 3 has like lockers that you can put stickers on.
Yeah, I played Splatoon 3 with Dustin actually for a while.
Yeah. I was super hooked on Splatoon for a while.
Nice.
And Splatoon 3 as well but after a while it gets a little tiring. The Splatfest do a lot to keep things interesting because I remember the first one was like, do you like ketchup or mustard or whatever,
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah. Those are cool. I like the events they do. Always weird categories.
Yeah.
Next, we got Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which came out in 2017. I forgot it came out that year.
Yeah, launch game.
Yeah. Micah, talk to me about Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah, of course I was several years late to the party, but it's a fantastic game. I do really recommend getting into the Xenoblade series. And I'm thrilled because Gene's enthusiasm for Xenoblade is what got me to finally check it out. And I keep seeing comments from other people saying the same. They're like, oh, Gene talking about this game. I finally got into it and now I understand. So I was several years late. I didn't play it until last year. But it really is an incredible series. These are long games. I don't recommend marathoning through them. Okay, I'm keeping my pace of like playing one per year basically. But I highly recommend them if you love story-driven games, unique battle systems. Maybe they take the concepts a little too far at times, but you will get the hang of it. And the biggest thing for me is that you don't have to utilize all the features. Like as we discussed previously, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has an insanely complex battle system, but you can truly get by and thrive in the game without using every single mechanic that is offered to you. So while it looks really intimidating, you will be just fine, even with the most basic level of attacks. Like, but it is a series. I know it's intimidating to people, but if you give it a try, it's really excellent.
Yeah,
it's so funny that you were able to like wrap your head around Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and not Zelda. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is like so much more complicated.
Yeah,
because like I literally just picked up Xenoblade because of course I'm on Xenoblade like kick right now, right? So I was like, oh, I should let me see what I remember about the combat system in 2. So I booted it back up and I was like, I don't understand this at all. Well, I can pick up Tears of the Kingdom just fine. I'm like, oh yeah, let me just build some stuff, you know. But yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, so anyone shy about thinking Xenoblade Chronicles is too complicated, like Micah got through it. No, but because Micah's right, you don't need to engage with all that stuff. She's absolutely right.
Right, you know. Yeah, because there's levels to it. Like there's this whole subsystem with the elements and with attacking enemies based on their element and layering these attacks. But you really, a lot of it happens automatically simply by you being like, oh, that guy's red, I'll use the blue attack. Like you don't even have to remember all the rules. Some of this is just color matching.
It's very color matching, yes.
Exactly.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, like you can really boil it down to the simplest parts and just say, all right, just do the opposite of what that guy looks like. And while you could do some crazy like 4-tiered attack, you'll do just fine doing the most basic first level attacks. And you really can play the whole game that way and still have a ton of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember being definitely confused by some of the combat stuff in this game.
It's fucking
wild. I was like, what is this game talking about? Explained it very poorly, I remember.
It was very bad at tutorializing, yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's no in-game tutorial to reference either. Like the game gives you the tutorial and there is no in-game help menu to go back and reference to be like, can I read that again? No.
Yeah.
You gotta go online and read it.
Yeah, so that's what I was fucking looking for when I booted back Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I was like, I forgot that the option screen has fucking nothing in it. You know, you can turn the music on and off, and you can save your game, or you can return to a title screen. Like this game doesn't give a shit about options.
No, like, dude, I was like, I told to Colin because it was when I was playing the game the first time. And I'm reading the tutorial, which is really long. And then I was like, all right, I'll try it in this next battle. Tried it, clearly didn't understand it. I said, I got to read that tutorial again. And it's not there. And I'm like, Colin, you won't believe it. This game doesn't have an in-game like help menu to reference the tutorials. And like, if you saw how insane this battle system was, you really understand why this is such a problem.
Yeah.
I had to go online where some guy nicely had it on his website basically, and I could read it again there. But strange choices.
The combat system was really good in this one though, because you can cancel auto attacks. So that actually, like when you attack, when you attack, that'll increase the cooldown of your abilities, as opposed to like Final Fantasy or an MMO where the cooldown just kind of happens throughout time. Like you have to be auto attacking to kind of build up the ability to redo abilities. So then if you're like if you do an auto attack and you just slightly jiggle your left thumbstick, then you'll cancel that animation as soon as it hits, and it'll just hit again. And then that's a faster way of just building up the abilities. And that was always very, very fun and engaging, and always felt really good. And to me, that's what kind of made the combat system kind of like better than even 3, I think, in terms of just how it felt,
Yeah, cool. All right,
next.
We
can talk all day about the game.
Yeah.
Exactly, because I was about to go on a tangent about like Star Ocean, the second story R, as like an example of another auto attack game that isn't as good, but we can't.
Yeah. That's the whole podcast in of itself. We need our own 7 sign, Micah. That's what we do.
Yeah, you can talk about Xenoblade.
Yeah.
All right, next. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out. Juggernaut game.
Never heard of that game.
No. Yeah, I remember when this came out. I was like, man, just a remaster of Mario Kart. But then they just
no one's gonna buy this. This is whatever, I was this like, is a nothing game.
Man, but then they added like a whole new game to it essentially. down the line. I was like, oh, okay. Mario Kart 8 now, where it's at, Ultimate or Deluxe, is an insane game with so much content in it. It's crazy. But yeah, Mario Kart is always a winning formula, and it's going to be for Switch too. It's going to do gangbusters. But I remember playing it, having a good time. Gene, did you play Deluxe at all?
Honestly, I haven't played much Mario Kart 8 overall on the Switch.
Man, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's great, but I never really played it online. I played it all throughout the Star Circuit or whatever. I got all the circuit cups basically.
Okay.
And then once I got that, I was like, I'm good. I don't need to play this again. I did go back for the new tracks, just check those out, and I was like, oh, dude, some of these tracks are ugly.
F-Zero track though, you did that?
I haven't done that yet.
F-Zero, the Zelda one.
I did do the Zelda one, so that's why I always have it installed, because it's like I should go back and just give it a few rounds.
See the tracks,
Mario Kart is always fun, but it's always
fun.
I just haven't played it. So,
Micah, you didn't play this, did you? You played it on Wii U, right?
Exactly. I refused to buy it for Switch because I was like, no, I already own this game on Wii U. I'll wait till they make Mario Kart 9. And I have not played it since.
Yeah.
I never played the Switch version. I've been waiting this whole time. But I hold fast to that because I really was like, dude, first and foremost, back then, Nintendo's Online, not fantastic.
What do you mean back then?
I just mean like in general. Before,
it's still bad.
They made it better when you had to pay for it. Because legitimately, the reason I didn't get Splatoon 3 was because I was like, I'm not paying for their shitty online. Their online is okay, and it was okay because it was free. And you were like, well, sometimes you get kicked out of a game, but at least I'm not paying for this shit. Yeah. And then when they made you start paying for it, I was like, bro, I'm not paying for this. It has gotten, in their defense, better. It's still not like amazing, but it has gotten better. But I did have the attitude of like, nah, I'm not paying for online.
Fair enough.
And so, when they Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I'm like, I'm not buying that. And then later on, is like, you got paid to play online. I'm not paying for that. So I just had zero reason to buy it. But I'm going to be there day one for new Mario Kart. You can believe that.
Oh, yeah. Launch game, baby. We'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be that new Donkey Kong look that everyone is mixed on. I'm ready. I'm ready to be chibier versions of everybody. A little more round. I'm into it.
Round is the way.
Yeah, round gang. I just opened up a tab and it was that fucking Mr. Krabs meme. God damn it. Oh. All right. And last game we're going to talk about, of course, Super Mario Odyssey. Amazing game. I had so much fun playing this game. Really fun worlds. The hat was a really cool mechanic. Getting to possess things was super sweet, especially a boss later on. Really fun. Lots of content in this game, too, if you want to do everything. A little overwhelming amount of content, probably, for most people, but a lot there. Gene, give me some thoughts on Super Mario Odyssey.
Man, the hype cycle for Super Mario Odyssey was...
It was crazy.
For me, it was like Halo 3, finish the fight levels of hype, with that Jump Up Superstar song.
Yeah.
Reggie saying it's not a something, it's an Odyssey, and then just the house falling away from him, and it's just like the world of Odyssey around him. I was just like, this is so magical. Like I can't believe we're alive to see this.
Yeah.
The fact that New Donk City, the fact that Mario gets to be in a whole city, like that's
it was crazy.
That's a huge breakthrough for in terms of like Mario aesthetic,
Yeah.
That level itself is just super glorious. Just a loving tribute to Mario and all of its glory. The music in Mario Odyssey was incredible. Honestly, I feel like I'm tearing up talking about Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
I have a huge problem with how many moons it has, for sure.
It has a lot, yeah.
Like it's a nightmare if you are the kind of person who wants to complete things. It's a
completionist,
nightmare. Yeah, absolute nightmare. But if you just want to just vibe through the game and enjoy it as a platformer and just get through the end and beat Bowser and the rescue Princess Peach, this is definitely a top 3 Mario game for sure, of all time. I still consider Mario Galaxy the best one mostly because I just feel like it's the most balanced, and that also felt really magical to me. I couldn't believe it when I was playing it on the Wii. I was like that was like Halo 1.
That was a crazy moment. Yeah,
it was crazy. But Mario Odyssey, like I just couldn't believe. I was like, oh, they absolutely did it again. That magic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was truly there. And the fact that it was a true sequel to Mario 64, you know.
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy was never that. Mario Galaxy was very level based. Mario Galaxy 2 was very level based. Mario 3D World was Mario 3D World, which is pretty much a 2D Mario in 3D, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the structure. But Mario Odyssey really kind of like opened up things where it's like, oh, here's a huge map that you have to revisit and explore over and over again. That it was a true sequel to Mario 64, and I just couldn't believe, because we haven't really had one since Mario Sunshine. Other than Mario Sunshine, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the true sequel to Mario Sunshine. But
it had been a long time still, regardless, since GameCube.
Yeah, since GameCube, yeah, to kind of return to that, you know, we skipped a whole generation, you know, or two generations. Wii U, I skipped a generation. Wii U, you know, Wii U, we didn't have a Mario game like this. So for it to return to like that bigger level exploration that we saw in Sunshine and 64, just magical.
Yeah, pure magic.
2017 was a crazy stacked year for Nintendo. To start with Zelda and end with Mario, that's redonkulous. Like, that's like, I guess Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2 at the same year or something like that.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was a crazy year. Awesome time though. Micah, have you ever played Odyssey? I can't remember if you ever tried it.
I got filtered.
Oh, okay.
It was hard.
I can remember exactly like where it was. I still see it in my mind's eye, and I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just not good at this, and it's okay.
Okay.
And I stopped playing, but the song, Gene, that fucking song has been stuck in my head this whole time.
Yeah, it's
I didn't even get to play the game, but the song's been stuck in my head ever since. It was very special, and the excitement of people who just truly loved the game. It was a really great moment, like for everyone who loves Nintendo. But I suck at Mario games like that, and I can still picture it in my head. There was a stage where, because it was like one of the rhythm based sections where like it's like you could hear the sound that was like kind of like tap tap tap, and then the floor will like switch underneath you. And you know what? I lost my fucking shit because I couldn't do it. And I was just sitting there, and it was just like everything in this game is so cheery, and it's just like, and I fucking suck, and I couldn't do it, and I gave up.
You could do it now. You're a new woman.
No, I don't think
you're playing Zelda games now. You could do it.
I couldn't play Mario Wonder though, so that's
you're a new woman since then as well. So
I might trade that in. Actually, that's probably worth at least $3.
Don't trade in Mario Wonder.
No one else is gonna play
it. Okay. Next, just really quick, there was a new Katamari Trademark. So Katamari Damacy, the old PS2 game, still kind of going from Namco. Really loved the first one. I'm sure you played it too, Gene. Awesome game.
The soundtrack,
legendary.
In my early 20s, I used to roll around in my 2003 Toyota Corolla, just picking up girls and be like, check out this music.
Katamari, yeah.
They were like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, you don't even know. Like,
get out.
Uncultured swine.
I was kicking bitches out of my car if they don't appreciate it, you know?
Yeah.
First of all, I thought that sentence was going a completely different. In my head, I thought you were gonna be like, I would like roll around my apartment, like just pretending you were in the game. You know, I was picturing Gene saying that he was gonna put on the music and he was like rolling around.
Yeah, no, the soundtrack. I had that burned on a CD. I don't think I ever bought that.
Me too, dude. Soundtrack. I did have it on burned CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a lot of my friends liked that soundtrack. That game was crazy.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, and then so I would just vibe with people who go into my car and just like vibe with the music and like, you get it. You know, you don't have to play the game. You just vibe with the music, and they're like, yo, what is this? You know, like a lot of the songs were like beat heavy too. You know,
yeah, it was just a really crazy soundtrack that fits so well to that game.
Yeah, timeless soundtrack. It still sounds new to me. So
yeah, it's still good. A game about rolling around and picking shit up. Amazing game.
Still a great idea too.
Yeah, still really good. They've had a bunch of games over the years, but it looks like we may be getting a new one. So I'm happy about that because I'll check it out. I like Katamari. It's just a fun game to hop in and out of, stage based, so it's a good time. Really weird. Mike, have you ever played a Katamari game?
No, I've watched Game Grumps play them. That's my exposure to the series, but I've never actually played it. Do you think I'd like it?
I don't know. With you, I have no idea. You're a wild card most of the time. I have no idea.
Is it difficult?
No, not really.
All right.
It's just more goofy fun.
Yeah, no, it's easy. It's just fun, and I do get pissed off whenever I don't like finish the roll. And
sure.
If I just like, I actually tried to play the first one recently, and I was just bad at it.
Yeah, the first time I remember the controls are they take a little bit to get used to.
A little bit, yeah.
So you're using the sticks up and down to like
and
directions.
you have to wiggle them back and forth to do the speed up thing. Like I forgot about that, so I definitely forgot all my old tricks of it. Yeah, I'm definitely. I don't know if I'm down with a new game though. I feel like the old games are just fine, and you can just keep re-releasing those. But whatever, sure. I won't complain for more Katamari. So
yeah, they had Katamari Damacy Reroll, which came out a couple years ago.
Yep, that's one I got.
Which I played. I have that on PlayStation as well. But it's on Switch, Micah, and there's a demo for it if you want to check it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We got a demo. I'm gonna write this down.
You can download the demo. Really weird game.
Yeah. Check out the demo. The demo itself will be enough, honestly,
to get a good grasp of what the game is. Yeah, you'll know.
Yeah. The first level is delightful. The first level is great, at least. So definitely one of the best first levels of all time.
Yeah, really good. So hopefully we'll see that pretty soon. All right, guys, let's talk about what we've been playing. I'll go last just briefly because I talk about it on Summon Sign all the time. Gene, let's start with you, man.
Well, we did play Split Fiction together. I don't know if
we did. I didn't talk about Summon Sign because I was like, I'm going to wait to talk about that with Gene because I feel like it's such a co-op heavy focus game.
Sure.
And I played it with you, actually. Yeah. So I was like, I should just talk about it with Gene.
Yeah. So I totally get people being skeptical because of the art style, because it's very like when Brad and I were playing, like the commentary I was making was, we're totally at NBA 2K right now, or EA Sports. This is an EA Sports ass game right here, and then you walk. The game is about, this is the premise, this is all in the trailers. Please don't accuse me of spoiling.
It's the very beginning of the game.
For fuck's sake, yeah. You walk into a very EA type video game company, and the premise is that these two writers have ideas for stories, and then you go into a virtual simulation machine where the company is trying to quote unquote extract ideas from you. And this is a criticism of AI, actually, because I just did an interview with Joseph Ferris, and he was like, that's actually inspired by AI and how generative AI is stealing ideas from people, right? And then so I totally get that the game doesn't look that impressive in trailers, but man, when you play it, like talk about Mario. This game is very Mario-like in terms of like polish, in terms of like controls, and even in terms of like the design, the different puzzle designs or whatever. I was very, very impressed. I kept talking about how it was very much Mario Galaxy. Yeah. And Ferris said, this is totally inspired by Mario Galaxy 2.
Really cool.
Yeah. So he definitely took homage from Mario Galaxy. So this is like a 2-player Mario Galaxy game. We didn't get to play much. We played about like 2 hours.
Yeah, about 2 hours. Yeah.
Just over 2 hours. So we definitely saw a lot. But the crazy thing is that the game has so many ideas. It's very like Astrobot-like.
Yeah. It's relentless in the amount of ideas it has. Just constantly throwing new stuff at you.
Yeah, you're always using the same buttons, so the game is very, very coherent in terms of how you play it. But it's always switching camera perspective. It's always switching elements of what certain buttons would do. Like the R trigger will accelerate you on a motorcycle in one game or in one level, and then in the other one it'll turn you. You can turn into a Groot-like character. I forgot what you were turning into, right?
Like a monkey thing, yeah.
Yeah. And Brad can turn into a monkey as opposed to driving a motorcycle. So, the buttons do different things. Very Balan Wonderworld-like, if anything, right?
If Wonderworld was good, yeah.
Wonderworld was good and 2-player and directed by Joseph Ferris. Then that's what this game is. It's we didn't play any more of it, but I'm definitely down to play more.
Yeah, we gotta play more.
There's just a lot of good ideas in there. So.
It's a really good game.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good game. I've played A Way Out and It Takes Two, and I think this is the best one they've made so far.
Yeah.
man, just some of the ideas we were talking about there. There's this one part where I was walking on a ceiling and Gene was like walking on the floor, and we were doing puzzles together while doing that. Then there'd be parts where the screen would come together, so we were on the same screen, and I'm like running on a completely different like plane or axis than him, and we're like going through levels together. Me and him were like, being like, oh, I'm gonna throw up because it's so crazy going on at the same time. It was insane,
mind bending stuff. Yeah, really,
mind bending stuff. Really fun
like,
really fun boss fights too. Really fun.
Yeah. Really, really fun boss fights where amazing boss fights. We fought 3 of them at least, right?
Yeah.
And each one was so creative. Each one introduced a new gameplay element, a new way to fight them. Each time it was always cool and interesting and badass. We played through the cyberpunk level. So, Mio, the sci-fi girl, is like a ninja, and Zoe, who I is a country girl who likes fantasy, and she had a whip. So then the ninja girl with the sword will have a completely different mechanic than the girl with the whip, and but they both work in conjunction with each other. I was shocked at how much I like Split Fiction. I was like, yo, this is easily a Game of the Year contender.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a really good game. If you got a buddy to play with or someone or a loved one, highly recommend playing it together. It's like, it's a good level of difficulty in the sense, Gene, like we died a lot, but it's very quick in getting you back in the flow of things. It's not too punishing, but it's just a really good time.
That's
and
true. We did die a lot too, so it's challenging, but it was never frustrating. We're like, oh, whatever. It's like, oh, no, let me try that again.
Yeah, because at some moments, some shit like pops off. It's like Call of Duty amount of stuff going on. It was crazy. Me and Gene were freaking out playing. It was insane.
It's crazy. Yeah, a lot of stuff happens. I would say that the set piece direction in this game is excellent. Definitely, we'll definitely have one of the best set pieces of the year already.
Yeah, it was really good. And if you only need one copy to play it with a friend, so only one of you has to buy it. So if you're worried about that, it's totally really cool, very friendly. I like that a lot. So highly recommend it. Yep, can't recommend it enough.
And then of course there is Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I have spent 100 hours in. I'll try to keep this short because I can't really talk much.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot last week too.
Yeah. So right now I'm pretty much at the end game. I beat the whole game actually.
Yeah.
And I beaten the new content, so that's why, like, at this point, I can't really talk much more. But I did finally. This is a dream come true for me. I'll only talk about this one part. I unlocked the best mecha in the game, and this mecha would take you like I'm looking up on Reddit. There are like 300 hours and 4 years later, I have unlocked Scale. I have done it, and they'll post it on Reddit. I have always wanted to unlock that mecha. It is called the Ares, and it gives you a ground form where you can 2 wheels, so you can transform like a transformer. They all turn into transformer ground vehicles, but this one has a unique transformation that looks amazing and super smooth. But when you fly, and you can fly, the mechs can fly in this game too. It shoots out angel wings.
Cool.
The jet stream looks like angel wings, and you can customize what color the angel wings look like, man.
That's
to
cool.
Any color you want, bro. So I just spent the last like 30 minutes today out of my workday just painting it.
Yeah.
Just painting my Gundam.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise go. March 20th, Xenoblade Chronicles. Lastly, I'll talk about Monster Hunter Wilds. Awesome game. I think some cool shit happens on it. There is a fight where you fight like an alpha predator in a lightning storm in the desert. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It feels next gen. It's the weapons are all fantastic. Like they really made every weapon feel really great. They really streamlined a lot of things. So so with all those superlatives out of the way, buy Monster Hunter, and everyone has. It's sold 8 million, right?
Yeah, it's sold a lot.
So I don't need to tell anyone to buy Monster Hunter. So I will say, the reason why I haven't finished it, and the reason why I remain obsessed with Xenoblade, is because I fucking hate the story mode in Monster Hunter Wilds. I think it fucking sucks. I think the story sucks. I hate that fucking kid that they give you, Nata. Yeah. I want to kill that kid. He's so fucking annoying. He doesn't make any sense at all. He just complains all the time. He almost died in the intro, and I was like, I wish you did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You are such a little shit kid. Here's the thing. The Monster Hunter story mode like gives you all of these features, and sometimes the story mode will just lock these features away because they're like, "No, you're in story mode right now. You can't look at the world map. What are you talking about? We know that we told you 30 minutes ago that you can turn on the world map, but you're in story mode now, bro. You can't do that shit. Focus on the story. Shut the fuck up. Listen to the fucking kid." You know, I missed a prompt to have customizable birds. So I continued with the game, and I was like, "Oh shit! I missed a feature to customize the birds. Let me go customize my bird right now, so it can look like a goddamn chocobo, right?"
Yeah.
I could not turn the feature on because the game would not let me leave the goddamn village to talk to the girl who would activate the goddamn feature. Another fucking shit kid, you know, another kid locked to a goddamn feature in the game, you know. So the problem is that they have all these wonderful characters that are beautifully designed. You know, they're super hot characters. You know, they look great. But it's so much of the features in the game are tied to these characters. But the worst part of Monster Hunter Wilds is that it wants to be Red Dead Redemption 2. It thinks that it has a story that is interesting enough where walking on your horse side by side and talking, walk and talk scenes like in Gears of War, or basically Red Dead Redemption 2 where you're just trotting along the horse side and just talking along something. They really think that they got something special here, but you don't. You know, you can't even move your bird around when this shit happens. You can't even control the camera sometimes. The game will force the camera to make you look at certain things. You know, so the game just has the worst guardrails in the first like 10 to 15 hours when you're going through low rank. Thankfully, so I haven't played much of it, but I've seen a lot of streamers that I've been watching my friends play. Thankfully, everything opens up in high rank. The world map opens up, and all of the guard railing is over, and that becomes a genuinely fantastic, beautiful experience. So I can't wait to get to that. Now that I've finally unlocked my ultimate mecha in Xenoblade, I actually can't farm much more in Xenoblade right now because I have to wait for online to start doing that stuff. So I can finally put that to bed. And I definitely plan to put in some Monster Hunter time to just fucking get through this shitty ass story, just so I can play the rest of the game.
Yeah, so, I'm in high rank now, Gene, and it does get a lot better. I think. Yeah. Like you, the story I did not care at all. Yeah, I was like, I just don't care. But there's a lot of cutscenes in this game. They really tried to put an effort in. I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Don't care. Yeah. But in high rank now, I'm getting that Monster Hunter dopamine that I've been wanting. So I've been having fun.
I'm trying to get there. I saw that the sandstorm and the grayness clears up, and then the world map just looks so much better. Even at the point in the game that I'm at, the world map opened up. Also on PC, if you mess with the .ini files and you remove volumetric fog.
Yes.
Then, sorry, I glitched out there for a second. The game just runs so much smoother on PC, and the game looks so much better because all of that crap is gone, and you can actually see like the backgrounds and like the color of the world and everything like that. So, I'm not playing on PC. I'm playing on PS5, which is disappointing. I wish I had on PC so I can do that. And
it's not a great version.
But apparently it's obviously a crap version too. So I think I'll wait until later to invest in a good PC to play Monster Hunter. But Dragon's Dogma 2 and Monster Hunter Wilds not great on PC for sure.
Nope.
Crazy that the RE engine just chugs when it comes to open world now.
Yeah.
But
all right,
those are
cool.
That's a lot of gaming.
Yeah, a lot of gaming, definitely. Okay, Micah, I know you've been playing. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so I finished Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which, oh my god, the ending of the game, so
already
worth the journey. Yeah, I mainlined that shit, all right, at 85 hours. I really loved being Henry so much. I finished the main story and a lot of side stuff in 83 hours, and you guys know I'm usually not an achievement hunter these days, but I was really close to getting the been there, done that achievement which is for completing most of the game's content. Like that's what the achievement itself says. And so I did spend a couple extra hours doing that because I wanted that achievement.
Yeah.
And so I did that. And then my final playtime was like 85 hours. But the story's excellent. The only thing I want to say is as soon as I finished that game, I was like, what are they making next? You know, like I can't tell you. This is a studio now that I will just be waiting with like the highest anticipation of whatever they decide to do next, whether they want to do more in this exact same world, whether they want to branch out, you know, meet some new characters, whatever. I am just going to be sitting by the phone waiting because I just adore these two games so much. And while I kick myself for being so late to the party on Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, this was just perfect for me to like play the first game and be so hyped about the second one, roll right into it. Like I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I loved every second of it. I know that like we are not anywhere close to them even announcing anything. But man, like this is my new studio to watch of you got me.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to try. So, I swear to God though, don't fuck this up. Okay. I'm looking to see. Here's the thing. I'm in the minority. Okay. I love the Witcher games. I cannot tell you how angry I was that they made Cyberpunk and not a medieval game. I can't tell you how fucking furious I was. All right. Because I was like, future? No, the future? Who needs the past, baby, the past, the future. I'm gonna be in that hellscape, okay? We're all gonna be there, but we can't be in the past. We can't be in the past. So like I'm all about medieval shit. While other people love outer space and it's future and I support that. But I was like, don't fuck this up. I swear to God.
You sound like just the girl in Split Fiction. Sorry.
Yeah. 100%.
I hate sci-fi. Fantasy. I love fantasy.
And it's like if they decided that they were going to pivot from these wonderful medieval peasant simulators to we're going to do something futuristic, like I'll find these people and we're going to have words.
Warhorse, you heard it here.
Yeah. That's a threat.
Make a RoboCop game next.
Yeah.
Oh my God, right? So I'll be waiting for whatever they decide to do, and it better be medieval. And that's all I'm going to say. But,
you'll probably get DLC at least for KCD 2.
Oh, yeah. I bought the gold edition. So, yeah, whatever future stuff they might do, I'm into it. But if 4 years from now, there's an announcement and they're making some robot shit, we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
All right. And that's all I'm saying, because I'm not going to say more than that. Hogue, you know, everything I said, he would be like, that wasn't a threat legally.
Yeah.
All right. He would sign off on this.
Okay. Lawyer approved,
I do get
maybe.
that though, because KCD's vibes are immaculate when it comes to like recreating like, you know, the countryside and old things. So it's like, yeah, just stick with what you're like the best at, honestly, you know?
Sure.
Exactly. And because I'm not saying this as a knock to Cyberpunk, of course not.
Yeah.
Okay. But God, it's not what I wanted. And I don't even mean that it had to be The Witcher. It just like, no, I don't want this. I just literally was like, I do not want this.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the other game that's a vampire that made by that former CDPR guy. Like,
what was that called? I forgot.
What's that called? Yeah.
I'll look it up.
It looked cool, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. The the trailer we saw at the Sony show.
The blood of Dawn Walker. Yeah, that game looks sick.
Yeah, that looks fucking.
Yeah, that looks
great.
good. That looks sick. Exactly. Yeah. So I totally get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying.
Exactly. Like I'm not telling you have to make 10 of these.
I love sci-fi and cyberpunk, but I totally get that. It's like, dude, you're so good at this. Don't mess this up. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since Cyberpunk wasn't like amazing like what at launch, you know.
Sure, yeah.
At least in terms of like, you know, like the best atmospheres, you know.
Yeah.
They had to patch all of that. It was okay, but it wasn't perfect. And it's gotten better over time. And
it's really great now.
Yeah, it's really fantastic now, and like even like the features and everything out there are great, but like all that stuff is just missing at launch. So, yeah.
So, Micah, what's up next then for you?
So I started playing Golden Sun on Nintendo Switch
cool.
Online.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Hero name lets you name your hero, so I named him Fartle. It's cute.
Very very Game Grumsian, yes. Very Aaron Hansonian. Yeah.
I know I should just start choosing names off that list of like all their Zelda names that they've used over the years. But yeah, the interesting thing, this is a game that Colin said he really liked. He got in trouble actually for playing it in class when he was in high school. He brought his Game Boy to class and got caught playing it. But I'm enjoying it a lot. For people unfamiliar, it's a turn-based RPG, really gorgeous battle animations. Unexpected. Truly unexpected. Like I'm going into this experience completely blind, didn't know anything about this game, but it is gorgeously animated. It really keeps you engaged because it just looks so enchanting, and the way that everything moves around, it just looks awesome. I'll also say the game has longer dialogue scenes than I expected. I truly just wasn't sure what level of story, detail we would get, but they give you a good amount of, I guess, insight into what's going on. They do ask the player like yes or no questions. And with the rewind feature on Switch, I was like, all right, like show me that this actually matters. Not matters in the way of like, I have no idea if it matters in the end of the game. But it does give you different dialogue responses. If they ask you a question and you say yes, it'll give you like one response. I rewound it, hit no, and they actually did say something slightly different. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. Feeling like I'm part of the story a bit more. Was not expecting that out of this game. There is like a Pokemon element to the game. They have these creatures called Jin that you like, first you got to fight them, and then they'll befriend you and be part of your party, and they have different elements assigned to them. And the cool thing with those is that they have multiple uses in battle. So like on the first turn, you activate it and it might raise your whole party's attack. And then on the second turn, you actually use it and attack the enemy. And like they just have different features that way. Like there's one of them that raises your your elemental attack, for one character. There's one of them that like it'll heal somebody. So like its first turn of the battle, you can use it to heal someone, and then later on it'll attack. So they all have these like really varied support skills and attack skills, and that adds, a lot of variety. It is dependent on you finding them though, and I'm using a guide when I get stuck, because in terms of telling you what to do, the game's pretty sparse. Like you really are supposed to talk to every villager in town and pick up on a very slight hint as to like what the hell you're supposed to do next. And so I am using a guide here and there. But the funny thing is that like I was like, okay, I'm stuck on where to go next. Let me peek at the guide. And then it's like, according to the guide, I should have like 10 of these creatures by now, and I have 3. And I'm not trying to follow a guide that closely because I just don't find that enjoyable. But it is just funny of like, okay, like I am clearly missing a lot of things here. I thought I was exploring pretty well. I guess not, because this guy's just rounding these guys up, and I found 3 of them. But I don't really need more of them. It's fine. They're doing their jobs, But yeah, they're also... So the Pokemon element is there. It's pretty cool. The game has random encounter, like battles. I normally don't like it, but it's not bothering me for some reason. I don't know why. And I'm saying this because I'm genuinely surprised. The first like random battle, I was like, oh no, random battles. I hate those. But it's like, it's kind of like eating Brussels sprouts that first time. And you're like, you know what? The bitterness, you kind of start to like it. And because of this, I went ahead and pre-ordered Suikoden 1 and 2 Remake because I was really on the fence about it. Because I'm like, I don't really like random battles, man. And you know what? I hate to say it, Brad. I hate to fucking say it. Maybe I don't hate random battles. Maybe I just don't like Dragon Quest.
Fuck.
Because I was just like,
Damn.
Maybe I didn't. But to be fair, Dragon Quest 8 didn't have random battles. I liked that one. But I was like, maybe I just didn't like Dragon Quest 3.
Yeah, 11 doesn't have it.
And 11 didn't either, too. Yeah. So I think it's just like old school, like random battles. Final Fantasy 1,
Yeah, exactly.
Final Fantasy 1 was the worst. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, so that brought me back around to being open to random battles in games again. So
Good.
I did pre-order Suikoden 1 and 2. Really excited about that. I won't play it right away probably because there's so much right now.
Yeah.
There's so much. But I was actually looking at a list of upcoming games. For me, the rest of this year, pending Switch 2 announcement, is pretty sparse. Because like we're all waiting for no, not all of us. We're all waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm waiting for Borderlands 4. Aside from like Xenoblade X and Suikoden, like those are the games I'm waiting for this year.
Lunar, right? Aren't you going to play Lunar?
Oh my God, that's in April. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have plenty. I have plenty to play. But yeah, the second half of the year, like what's going to be the end of the year, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
So those are what I'm all looking forward to. But yeah, it got me back into the random battles are okay. Still not my preference. I just hate the feeling of like you're about to exit the door and it's like, bam, one more battle. It's like, ah. But the beauty of playing this on Nintendo Switch Online with the rewind feature, like I accidentally did a random battle and I hadn't healed my party. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to get wrecked. And I was like, just rewind it, heal up, it's coming. And, maybe that's cheesy, but they put this feature. These old games are hard. I keep telling myself, old games are hard. So use these features and just have fun with it. And yeah, it's cute so far. It's a little fucking weird too. Like, I don't know, man. You're like 16 years old going on this grand adventure and everyone keeps being like, they're just children. It's like, yes, like, why are you letting me do this? Like everywhere you go, they're like, these are just boys. And it's like, yeah, so like, I don't know. Is there any other brave warriors in this whole fucking place? Yeah. Is there no one?
Is there no one? Yeah.
Besides me, who everyone keeps reminding is a child? I'm like, yeah, I know. So like, why didn't you do something? But it's good so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm having fun. All the weirdness aside, the Pokemon aspect is quite charming. I'm having a good time with this. It shouldn't take me super long to play it. I don't think it's like how long to beat has it listed at like 26-ish hours. So I'm not trying to rush. I'm not rushing. All right. Because Xenoblade's not out till 20th. I have time. But I wanted to play something shorter in the interim. And I wanted to make sure I played something on Switch because I realized I'd been very Xbox focused the past couple of weeks. But I have so many Xbox games to play now too. Like I got This Is the Police in the docket because I never finished that. I got so many things to play, but I'm gonna try and intersperse them. I'm gonna try and alternate. It's a Nintendo podcast after all.
You're gonna be playing Xenoblade. Let's play multiplayer.
Yeah, geez,
I have no idea what multiplayer is like in Xenoblade. I didn't play it at all on the Wii U, and the servers have been off for like years, so it's unavailable. So
I haven't played a multiplayer game with a friend in a while because there is one of our Reddit mods is how I met this person in the Discord, and we played through like multiple Gears games together. Like they never played Gears Judgments. We played that, and then we played like 4 and 5 together. But it was just like, oh, dude, you're gonna love this. But I haven't like been on the mic playing a game with someone in quite some time. So, Gene, yeah, we should squad up and do that.
Yeah, squad up.
Multiplayer is all about the end game farming, by the way, too. So if you want those like big drills or rifle like transforming rifles that you see in the preview videos, you need to be playing multiplayer for those items.
Okay. All right. Got a few more news topics real quick. First, we got Suikoden. They had a direct. So I'm just going to talk about what they showed in there really quick. First thing is obviously Suikoden 1 and 2 remaster and launching March 25th. Mike has already pre-ordered it. Gene, are you going to play this?
Sooner than that.
Same, yeah.
Or is it out sooner? It might be.
Nintendo is showing it as the 6th, like on like the digital storefront.
Maybe it is. Maybe that's for like physical or something. I don't know.
That's so soon. Oh my god.
Well, March 6th then. At least digitally.
I can wait on that. So Suikoden 2 especially was for a while my favorite RPG of all time. I even counted it over Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI. Now, my opinion on that has kind of changed a little bit, mostly because I haven't touched Suikoden 2 in such a long time, and there's such little I remember about it. But the story, I think the story is better than FF6 and Chrono Trigger. Absolutely. I think it's just a better story.
Gene, you're getting me so hyped about this now.
The thing is, it was so unique because like I mentioned this, I mentioned it before, but Mass Effect was unique because it's like a continuing story from Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and it remembers your decisions. Suikoden was unique in that, you know, we had Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, and every Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy was kind of different, right? Even Xenoblade Chronicles, well, not kind of, right? But Suikoden 1 and 2 is like, no, this is a direct sequel. Suikoden 2 will have the same characters, and like the not so much the decisions you made, but the events of Suikoden 1 are all about what Suikoden 2 is about. So it just feels like a epic saga across battles. The characters are so great. Victor and what's Flick? Are you two generals? They're just the goats. And you just build this army, and you just have like a real sense of family with your fortress and your army that you raise. So much fun. I can't recommend Suikoden 1 and 2 enough. Yeah. Alongside Xenoblade Chronicles is one of my favorite RPG series of all time for sure.
Yeah, I've never played them, but I would like to. I've heard they're great. Yeah, everyone I know that plays them loves them. So.
Great combat system. Combat system is like really fast and frenetic. Random battles, so watch out for that.
Yep.
But the way they hit, the way the hits look, and the way the camera like zooms in and out, really fun stuff. So yeah, can't wait.
Yeah. They also had Suikoden Star Leap, a mobile only game right now, release TBA. There's a trailer for that out there, so if you guys are curious about that, but visually it looked okay, but gameplay wise, I assume it's going to be gacha. So
I'm good.
There you go. That.
Yeah.
And also
an RPG series of 108 characters. Perfect for gacha. Oh my god.
Perfect. Yes.
That's awful. I'm sorry, Suikoden.
They also had Suikoden the anime announced, so I guess they're going to be making an anime of one of the games, so that's cool. I have no context, but I hope you all enjoy it out there, Suikoden fans. Does that excite you, Gene?
Not really. I mean, anime versions of video games don't like we're seeing everything about Netflix and Devil May Cry.
Yeah,
and I want to like that. You know, I really want it to be good, but everything I was seeing from it is telling me that I won't like it. The Limp Bizkit intro, I was like, I like Limp Bizkit a lot, so I don't think this fits though. That's the
really
issue.
I thought that fits so well. I thought Dante would totally be into Limp Bizkit.
I think the vibes are cool, but the animation itself wasn't fitting with the music that well, right? The intro, gotcha. like I'm not. It's not even the music choice. It's just I love the music choice. You know, any excuse to use Limp Bizkit, I'm totally down for, right? But like the animation itself didn't really like match the energy of the song, you know. And then IGN put out this clip, and then he makes like a reference, like a pop culture reference to Skeletor in the 80s, and it's like, I don't know about Dante like speaking out loud referential things. Like he obviously would reference like Michael Jackson and stuff like that, but he wouldn't like make it a whole thing about it. Like he wouldn't like beat the joke over his head or whatever. So I mean, we'll see. Anyways, that's a whole long rant about Devil May Cry anime. I'm not that excited about this week on anime. I haven't even watched the Nier Automata anime, and that was really good.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah, that was really good. But then they went on a break for a while for some reason, and then I just didn't go back into it. So okay. And yeah, Nier Automata is like my fourth favorite game of all time. I still haven't even watched that anime. So yeah, I don't know about Suikoden anime. If it's good, it's good. So.
Yeah. All right. Also, Tony Hawk 3+4 officially announced now. We'd kind of known about this coming for the weeks, but it's now official. Coming out July 11th on Switch and every other platform. $50. And I think if you get I'm not sure if this is Digital Deluxe only or not, but the Doomslayer will also be in it, and a Revenant you'll be able to skateboard as. So that's pretty funny. I don't know if I'll get this right away, but I do think it's cool. I'm happy to see it come back. I like Tony Hawk 3 a lot. I don't think I've really played 4, if I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, that much. But I loved the 1 and 2. The remakes they did a while ago, they were really good. So I'm happy to see this. Gene, any interest in playing this right away when it comes out?
Not right away, but I'll buy it automatically. No problem.
Yeah.
You know, I want to support the Tony Hawk series and, you know, cool skating games. Cool. You know, the brilliant thing about Tony Hawk was that it wasn't a game about shooting or platforming or whatever like that.
Right.
You know, to this day, it's still a unique genre of its own. So Yeah, and I love part 3 and part 4, so probably not. I didn't even play 1 and 2 that much either in terms of the remakes, but I just want to have them, and it's just nice to have because these games are really, really special. I think I mentioned it before, but I would definitely be excited for Thug to come out. So
yeah, I know a lot of people like that one. I've never played that one.
I love Thug. Thug was so
they
fun.
all blend together for me.
They all blend. I don't know. I don't know which one is which either. They're like I totally get you. So,
Mike, any interest in the Birdman?
I support that. This I'm happy this is happening. Big Tony Hawk fan, like of the real life man. But am I gonna play this? Maybe. I'd probably actually be more apt to just finally pick up the 1 and 2 remake, like on a sale, because I just never bought it, than to buy this like at full price. But cool that it's $50. Like that's awesome. But yeah, I'm excited that they're doing this, but I don't have like I said, I can't remember which one I played as a kid, so I don't have a special love for any of them. It's just that, oh yeah, I really liked that game, but I don't even remember which one it was.
All right, well, shout out Birdman. I'm happy he's back. Next, our final news story. A new game I saw that got announced recently called Absolum. Now, this is from, let me read this. This is from Dot. I don't know how you say their name. They're a French company. Dot Emu or Dotemu, however you say it. Guard Crush and Super Monkus. These are people that did like Streets of Rage 4 and stuff like that. This is a beat 'em up action meets roguelite with like replayability. Explore Tamala and fight the Crimson Order. Master forbidden magic, defy death. Solo, local and online co-op. And it looks very much to me like Dragon's Crown. And I adore Dragon's Crown. I love that game. So if we're getting a kind of Dragon Crown's-esque game, like a side scroller beat 'em up, but now there's roguelike elements tied into that for replay value, I'm all about that stuff. And this is people that made Streets of Rage 3 and stuff, 4 that worked on it. It's going to have really good feeling hits, a good combat. So I'm very excited about this. There's a trailer out now. So if you're curious, you want to check it out. I think it looks cool. I think that has a really nice style, but there's only a little bit of gameplay in it, and there'll be more later in the summer, I think, or the spring. But what do you guys think about this so far? Gene, any thoughts?
Oops. I'm watching the trailer right now if you heard that sound.
No, I didn't hear it. We can't hear that.
Cool. Well, as soon as you said Dragon's Crown, I was like, okay, well, that caught my attention. So that's why I'm watching the trailer right now. So I'm trying to find the gameplay here. Art style looks okay, but I definitely need to see the gameplay first.
Yeah, there's just a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, that looks sick. Yeah. No, totally. Oh, this looks really good. I'm super excited. Yeah. And yeah, of course, the pedigree, perfect. Streets of Rage 4, I've mentioned before, is just one of my favorite games of all time, period. I know I have a lot of favorite games of all time, but games are great.
Games are great.
Yeah, Streets of Rage 4 is definitely my favorite beat 'em up game of all time. So if it's the same guys, then yeah, that's a perfect pedigree.
Yeah.
Everything around .emu and God, what was the other developer? Everything revolving around the guys who made River City with Girls and Rage 4, Way Forward, right? All those guys, they're great. So
yeah,
I support them all.
Yeah, it looks like there's 4 playable characters. There's like a knight character or a giant sword character, a little dwarf.
Yeah,
I think there's like a frog sorcerer, and there's like I think an assassin character. So not a bad start. Looks cool. They're running around mounts.
Reminds me of Dungeons and Dragons, the Mystara games, the beat 'em up games that Capcom made. That was just a Dungeons and Dragons beat 'em up game that was so sick.
That's what Dragon's Crown was influenced by. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
So, Micah, what do you think of this? Does it look fun to you?
No, it does, because I really did love Dragon's Crown Pro, which I played last year. And the key thing for me will just to be seeing like what is the difficulty level, because whenever games incorporate like, oh, you can play solo or online co-op, and then sometimes it's like, well, sometimes the games are a high enough difficulty level that you really do need to play co-op, or I would anyways, right? It's me trying to play The Division by myself, not loving it, and saying, no, this game's meant to be played with people.
Ooh, The Division by yourself is a painful experience.
It was a bad choice. It was a bad choice.
I want to play Division by myself. It's such a cool game to play solo. It sucks that it requires co-op, right?
I mean, Colin played it by himself somehow, but good lord, I don't have that. So
It's not fun. Yeah,
I'll be
I agree with you. I tried to play it by myself, and I just was not having fun. Yeah.
I'll be waiting to see what the difficulty is like on this, because I think this looks excellent. But I'll just be waiting to see if it truly can be played solo, because that's how it's going to shake out for me, right? Otherwise, yeah, I'm excited for this.
Have you tried River City Girls, Micah? I forget.
I feel like I played one of those with Colin. Colin loves beat 'em up games,
Yeah.
and I'm not as into them.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we
he
have
liked them.
played a
Yeah.
couple like beat 'em ups together. I'm just gonna be honest though, they didn't stick in my memory. Besides the Ninja Turtles one as being like just very obvious, hard to forget. I don't remember what the other one we played was.
It might have been River City Girls
mind
because I know he likes that game too. But yeah, River City Girls, you can actually grind and level up through that game, which is fun. So.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like co-op, they're so fun. Like us playing the Ninja Turtles game together. Like I fucking hate the Ninja Turtles, but like that game was really fun.
Really, you don't like the Ninja Turtles? I've never.
I hate.
That's like me hating Indiana Jones.
Dude, like since I was a child, I have hated the Ninja Turtles, and I can't stand them.
Well, they were pretty shitty when you were growing up, for sure. So.
They just, they were everywhere. They had the books and the lunch boxes. And there was this one really nice kid in my second grade class, Dean. And Dean loved Ninja Turtles and his favorite color was green. And I remember just being like, I can't fucking stand it. Like, and Dean was perfectly nice. Nothing wrong with him at all. And I love turtles, like actual turtles. And I like the color green.
Turtles are great.
And I love pizza. But the Ninja Turtles, can't fucking stand them. Can't stand. They're so smug. Raphael, cool but rude. Like, you know what? It's not cool to be rude. It's not.
They're teens, Micah. They're teens.
I hate teenagers.
These kids should be playing Splatoon.
Yeah. Fortnite or
Roblox.
Fortnite.
Yeah. They're probably fucking playing Fortnite, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, they're in it. All right, it's time for some questions from the audience to close out the show. If you want to send an inquiry to the show or write in or anything like that, I post a thread every Sunday calling for your submissions, so keep an eye out there on our Patreon. This is from Sir Poops McGuffin. Hello, Knights of the Round Table. I'm wondering if you're planning a bank heist and you can take 3 Nintendo characters. Who are you taking? Who and why? Thanks. All right, bank heist. Take 3 Nintendo characters. Who are we taking?
Definitely one of the ARMS characters. I think they'd be useful.
Oh, right? Yeah. Grab the cash.
Yeah. Just smash and grab, baby. Yeah. I feel like that's all you need. Just 3 ARMS characters.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. They can beat the shit out of anyone, probably.
Yeah. Probably a Boo or a Ghost, something that can phase through walls, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Maybe give the Boo like some like cybernetic arms so he can actually like grab shit as opposed to like, like because it has no fingers,
Yeah.
And
I got one. Hear me out here.
Yeah.
The getaway driver, Captain Falcon.
Oh.
He's getting you out of there.
That'd be sick. Yeah. Or he'll punch you in the stomach.
That's true. He can fight and be the getaway driver. He can punch someone out the building.
That's right. He'll just punch the guards out and then the Min can just grab the stash.
Yeah, I liked the Boo pick too, Gene. I think that's really smart.
Yeah. Oh, no. Tears of the Kingdom, Link.
Oh, Link with the arm? Yeah, he just go through.
He just phase through you're right. Just get the cash and just zip back down. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Question.
Micah, anyone you'd want to pitch to have in our robbery?
I'd have Wario come with us. I mean, he's got like the whole Italian mobster.
He loves money. Yeah,
this guy knows how to rob a bank.
Good for vibes. Yes. Oh, Micah chose a vibes based.
Let's go. Yeah,
very good.
Give me the money. Yeah, it'd be good. That'd be good. Okay, I like that. All right, let's see here. This is from Caleb Peacock. Here we go. I don't know what that means. Oh, I know what it means now. Here we go. Is the DK rap the best original video game song with lyrics? Who is Lanky Kong? Donkey, Diddy, Chunky, Cranky, and Tiny Kong of LSM. Thank you. Okay, well.
I feel like calling him Diddy because he wears no pants.
That's true. Who's Donkey then? Cog? He's the buffest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I might be Lanky Kong, right? For being the lankiest.
Oh, no, you know what? Maybe Cog's Chunky Kong. Chunky Kong's pretty ripped, too.
I forget who all these Kongs are, anyways. Too, by the way. So I don't know. Like I only know Lanky, Donkey, and Diddy.
Tiny
and
Kong
Cranky.
is like a bootleg Dixie Kong.
Oh.
Lanky Kong
that.
is like the
I guess Micah's a
redneck.
girl, obviously. So Micah's Smurfette of our Smurf village. You know.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Yeah, Lanky Kong is like he looks like a hillbilly kind of.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
better.
Oh, that's probably Maddie then.
Oh my god, dude, though. Like, Colin and I have talked. This is not an insult. Colin and I have talked about how Maddie has the perfect medieval face. Like, Maddie would fit in perfectly. I don't mean that's not an insult. That's not a bad thing. But, like, because somebody was like, could you imagine seeing Brad Pitt's face in the 1400s? It's like, no. But, like, I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, and there was a dude that looks so much like Maddie. I'm like, bro, like, that's fucking Maddie right there.
He's
like,
got
that's
a
him.
peasant-esque face.
He's a classic face, is what I would say. Like, you would see that face in an oil painting in a castle, okay? It's not a bad face. That do not take this the wrong way.
Not an insult at all. I love this conversation because fucking Alma in Monster Hunter Wilds, she's that girl with like the bandana and like the glasses or like that. Like she's what's called an iPhone face, where when you look at her, you're like, that bitch definitely knows how to work an iPhone.
Yeah.
Like you do not belong in Monster Hunter. You know how to use an iPhone. You have seen an iPhone. You use apps. Shut the fuck up and get out here. Maddie doesn't look like he uses an iPhone at all, which is pretty close to the truth, honestly.
Yeah. Cranky's just like the oldest guy. Would that be Dagon then? I guess.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
He's the oldest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Donkey Kong. I don't know who would be Donkey Kong then.
No, maybe what's his face? David Jaffe.
David Jaffe, sure. There you go.
Yeah, Jaffe's Donkey Kong. Yeah,
there you go.
Sure.
Okay, this is from Jeremiah. Hey, Punchers. After hearing Gene talk about Xenoblade Chronicles X on the last week's episode, I decided to jump back into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, having shelved it last year. 45 hours in, I have Colin's mental illness, in which I must play prior games in a series, and often in a dev's history in order to enjoy new stuff. I'm currently on chapter 9 out of 10, and while I fully intend to finish it, I hate this game. The gacha system is super annoying. The combat is extremely slow, even when you understand it. The narrative is meandering, sorry. And I can't emphasize this enough, the game is far too horny. It is pretty horny.
I disagree with the horny part. You're way too far for the game to still be horny. That's the thing.
No, Gene, you're misremembering.
I guess I'm misremembering. I guess I don't know.
It's still fresh enough in my mind.
Like there's a Nopon that's super horny, right? And so everything about that Nopon and Poppy is horny. Yes, I agree. Like that shit sucks. I don't like that part. I don't know. I'm sorry. We can let this guy finish.
And I say that as a Danganronpa fan.
Yeah.
But I stick with it because I adore the original and hear the other titles don't share 2's faults. So my question is thus: is there a game that you can't stand in a franchise that you love, and did it stick with you? All right, game we can't stand in a franchise we love.
Everything Jeremiah said about the gacha system is very annoying. So I do not blame you.
I remember that. That's like the blades, right? Is that what it is?
Yep. And then certain blades has certain like abilities, and like it's not always. This is fairly rare, so it's not the worst problem, but it's a shitty problem where certain areas are just gated off because you don't have the right blade. Or that blade doesn't have the right ability, so then you have to fucking keep rolling for the gacha to get that the blade with the right ability to help you jump up a thing or something, you know?
Yeah, and a step further is that the abilities also need to be leveled up. So if you have a blade that genuinely just like sucks in battle, but they're the one with the jump ability, you have to go grind levels with them in a battle because you need jump level 3. Yeah. Or you can't progress the game.
I don't blame anyone who has issues with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That's all. So, but interesting question.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say
Resident Evil 6 right there. Oh. Garbage.
I was gonna say Fallen Legion Revenants. Awful. I love the Fallen Legion. Flames of Rebellion and I think Sins of an Empire are the 2 games that are in the double pack. Love those games. Adore them. When Revenant was announced, I was like, hype times infinity because I adore those games. Awful. Trash. Do not play it. Play the first two, enjoy them, love them. Do not play Revenant. It's just so fucking bad. And it is startling how bad it is when like those first two games were just perfect for what they were. It was just so disappointing. I did play the whole game because I kept hoping it would get better, and it did not.
Yeah, I have a pretty good one. Halo 5.
Oh yeah, that's like the only Halo campaign I haven't finished.
You haven't even finished it yet? That's crazy.
I got bored.
It sucks
It was
so
depressing.
much. I hate it so much. And yeah, I was like rushing through it. I was like this story is so fucking stupid. These characters aren't doing anything. The story is going nowhere. And then when I got to the end, I was like, I feel so insulted and like I'm so mad. They were lucky that I actually went to try the multiplayer, and I was like, yo, the multiplayer is actually really good though. But I already forgot. But they had this cool like rivalry mode, like this mode where it's just like a bunch of big teams fighting each other against a big map. That was awesome. But Halo 5 as a story, man, that was regretful. And it's just another reminder of why Halo can't get its shit together, because it keeps throwing out all these stupid ass story ideas, and then they're like, oh wow, that idea was so stupid, how do we write ourselves out of it? Oh, we'll just make another stupid ass story and just like ignore all the interesting questions from the stupid ass story that we just wrote. So here's Halo Infinite, and we just won't continue the story anymore because we don't know,
Yeah, here's Cortana again.
Here's Cortana again. The same version of Cortana again, and we got no ideas. We got nothing.
Dude, remember all those cool aliens? We got a literal gorilla in this one. All right, get rid of cool character designs. What could be better than nature?
Well, that was Halo's 4's problem, where it's like, oh, remember all the cool Covenant? Well, here's the Prometheans, and like all their weapons suck. It's not fun to kill them. Their bodies don't even flop around; they just kind of disappear. So it's like not satisfying. The weapons are all pew pew lasers that don't feel good shooting. Halo 4 was great, but man, I hated those enemies.
You are reminding me so much of my biggest problem with Gears 4 and 5 was the addition of robots.
Yeah, the robots suck.
I love robots, bro. All right, Robot, one of my all-time favorite movies. I love robots. However, they aren't fun to kill. The locusts were fun, especially the Lambent in Gears 3. The explosion of body parts and like the robots are not fun to kill.
The Lambent in 3 were so cool.
The Lambent were awesome. A Lambent Berserker. Dude, like Horde mode got so insane. And Gears 4 and 5, Horde mode was just, it wasn't scary. Horde mode was supposed to be scary. Like, oh my God, we got a Berserker this round. And instead it's, oh my God, we got 20 robots this round.
Yeah.
It wasn't scary, and it really just messed up how the game felt. I'm so glad you mentioned that about Halo, because like, it just really reminded me about Gears. Like, yeah, dude, you took some really cool enemies and you were like, let's make them not so cool and not so fun.
Yeah, I like the robots. Okay, I don't have a biggest problem with them, but I absolutely agree that they're worse than the locusts and lambents, and they take way forever to leave the scene of the game to reintroduce the older enemies again. And it's like the enemy variety isn't there. No. And if you want a better robot shooting game that's a cover shooter, go play Binary Domain by RGG Studio
or Vanquish.
Or Vanquish, yeah, either one of those. Like that one has awesome impact. The robots are so much variety and like gameplay wise. Gears of War 4. I didn't mind the robots so much, but I'm totally with you that they weren't like the strongest part. They were definitely a downgrade for sure.
Yep.
5 got rid of the robots, but I think I might be misremembering.
It did rid of them more.
Yeah, I kind of want to play them now. The now that we're talking about them.
Yeah. Sure. Well, you might get a collection on PS5 this summer, if rumors are to be believed.
I'm really excited because Colin said he'll actually play them co-op with me.
Wow.
And I was like, bro, I'll play it on PlayStation. If you're playing a co-op, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Wow. Look at that.
Dope. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Please, Mr. Spencer. I need this. My marriage needs this.
Please, Phil. Oh, one more game I would add to this is
Gears of War.
Crucial for the marriage. I would add Devil May Cry 2 also to this list of.
Oh, Devil May Cry 2. Yeah. I played through
games.
that fucking piece of shit too.
Yeah, it sucks.
Awful game. There's some cool parts in it, but it's like 10% cool and like 90% absolute garbage.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
like I like
game.
the outfit. Some of the moves are cool. That's
the
really
wall running. I like the running on the walls.
Wall running is dope. Yeah, wall running is dope. You couldn't really do anything with that.
Nope.
The vibes were kind of cool. You know, like the art style is kind of cool.
Yeah.
The city is cool. That's literally it.
Yep.
The game design is the most fucking dog shit ever. So
yeah, it sucks. All right, final write in here from Elon Chan. Hey, punchers. It seems like every time I hear about a publisher or dev trying to spin up a live service game, it's with the goal to make the next Fortnite. To me, that sounds perhaps misguided, because the success of Fortnite seems like kind of a fluke to me. Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, the Battle Royale mode for Fortnite was an afterthought, or maybe even just thrown together because the core PvE game was a failure, and they just happened upon a winning formula to make from a mix of desperation and ingenuity. Did I have a stroke, or is that not how it happened? I'm feeling like I have shit takes lately, so please feel free to set me up straight if I'm off my rocker here. Yeah, that is kind of how it happened. Yeah,
that's how it happened. It wasn't even desperation and failure. They just fucking copied PUBG, you know?
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, that shit's hot. I guess we should try that out. And then it turned out, and it was better. I remember when Fortnite became a battle royale, and I was like, oh, I like this a lot more better than PUBG. This is way more fun than PUBG.
PUBG was so rough.
Yeah.
So rough when it was out. I remember playing and be like, yo, this is cool, but the game itself is bad. It runs like shit, looks like shit.
I know.
Glitchy. Yeah, it was a disaster.
Super glitchy, really janky, really cool. Yeah, exactly. Really cool world, but Fortnite was just so much more beautiful. And I was like, oh, of course this is going to be more popular.
Yeah, like some of this is about the approachability of it. I never played PUBG because I was like, this looks fucking serious. Okay. Mm-hmm. But Fortnite, I was like, oh, this looks like a colorful little kids game. I'll give that a try. And that was the difference for me. So part of that success too is just like approachability and people being like, yeah, this looks fun. Okay. Versus PUBG looking like, dude, what am I playing? Like Ark Survival Evolved, and it's like really intense, you know? Like, I'm not really looking to get into that, but I'll play a round of Fortnite.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And of course, Fortnite, just their monetization model has done so well for them. It's crazy how many crossovers they have. Fortnite's insane game.
Nuts.
It's like, yeah, you can have Sub-Zero and Ryu now in the same game. It finally happened, Gene. Only in Fortnite, though, before an actual fighting game.
Dude, they have like in-game concerts.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell are you telling me? Like, what?
Yeah. Here's Rise of Skywalker trailer in Fortnite. You're like, what the hell is happening?
Here's Jeff Keighley in Fortnite presenting presenting the intro to Rise of Skywalker. I did love the Travis Scott concert, though. That shit was awesome. And that is a core memory of mine. I love Travis Scott, and that was cool. But yeah, I haven't played Fortnite in a long time.
Neither have I. It's been a while.
I think
it's a good game.
It's a great game. I was obsessed with it for years, for like 3-4 years. But after a while, I was like, don't need to play this anymore. I'm good.
Yeah. Shout out Fortnite.
Yeah. Go buy Xenoblade Chronicles X.
All right. That's it. That's it for us. We are done. Another episode in the books. Gene, Micah, thank you guys once again for joining me. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
It's hot dog night.
Oh,
I've been so excited.
Is it an actual hot dog or a round hot dog?
Oh, actual hot dogs. These are Oscar Mayer bun length Franks.
Okay, bun length.
Nice.
Yeah. And I got the Pepperidge Farm potato top split buns.
Ooh,
okay. That sounds delicious.
I can't eat hot dogs anymore at a regular basis, but I still can have some every once in a while.
Regular basis.
But what I do, it's always a bratwurst. I just love a good bratwurst.
Hell yeah. Any plans for the rest of the day, Gene? Anything good going on?
No, I'm probably going to actually finally finish Monster Hunter low rank and just get into the rest of the game. You know, a ton of my friends are playing, and I'm just so behind because I'm just a junkie for Xenoblade.
Yep.
But
shooting up Xenoblade.
I pretty much reached the end of Xenoblade. I pretty much done as much as I can in Xenoblade. There's only like 3 like super bosses that I haven't killed yet. So
yeah,
and I won't be able to kill them until I can play with Micah online. So that's gonna be exciting, and we're getting closer. It's 2 weeks away. So
yeah, it's finally coming. Finally. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody, or listening. We appreciate it. We'll see you next episode. Take care, everybody. Goodbye. Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Bradley Ellis. My co-hosts are Gene Park and Micah Moriarty. The show is edited and produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Punching Up, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we're grateful for your kind contributions and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.